What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Chelsea match day. Chelsea versus Palace at the Bridge. Lineups are out. Team news has obviously been out for a while. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's a decent side. It's probably the side I pretty much am expecting to start seeing now under Maresca. I think there was definitely a shout for Neto to be starting after Mudrik's recent performances. Obviously, no Jadon Sancho as he didn't make the deadline, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, look, obviously, I think this is going to be an exciting game today. Crystal Palace are one of those teams at the moment that are incredibly difficult to predict how they're going to be, what Palace is going to turn up. They've obviously had a couple of real big players leave the club. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm really intrigued to see your guys' thoughts. I'm intrigued to see how this game goes. I'm intrigued to see what Chelsea we get. We're seeing a different Chelsea every week at the moment as well. It's getting difficult to keep up with. I want to chat about deadline day as well. Obviously, we did a stream. We went off just before the deadline because it looked like nothing was going to happen. But we did, in fact, see Jadon Sancho arrive at Stamford Bridge. However, I've got to be honest with you. Oh, that game, that deadline day and transfer window is slightly on the disappointing side because as much as I agree with a couple of the players that come in, I think we've brought in a couple of mediocre players, a lot of players who are very unproven. There might be one gem in those that we'll see this season, but really in key areas, I feel like we haven't strengthened. And in 4 windows, the fact that the striker that we've brought in is Nicholas Jackson, when they said give us a 4-window plan, they said judge us in 4 windows. I don't think it's good enough. I really don't. And if they think Nkunku is their striker that they paid the money for that's absolutely solid and world class, then they've definitely misprofiled him because I think he's a really good player. I just don't think he's a striker. Dan Knight says happy we got Sancho. Sterling past his prime and washed. Arn says this game will tell us a lot about the rest of the season. Yeah, I'm starting to think that, Arn, because my prediction so far is that it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. That's how I see it right now. I think it's a little bit up and down. I don't think we're putting together consistent performances. And yeah, I think you're right on that one. I really do think that this one will tell us a lot about the rest of the season for sure. Look, I want to see a really good, strong performance before we go into the international break. Because for me, the international break is coming at a time where I really couldn't care about international football. I don't think a lot of the players could after what's happened. I think it's coming a bit early. It feels like after 3 weeks. Maybe that's normal. I thought it was normally after 4. So I could really do without this international break. And I think Chelsea could too, because we're just starting to see this team build something and then we're going to lose it for a week and a half. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can finish strong and then momentum comes. Because I remember a little bit last season when Pochettino obviously would finish fairly strong before an international break. We'd have the international break and then we'd come back afterwards. It would take us a little bit to get going and it really killed momentum. So that's something I want to see us react on and go into strongly as well. Because look, we ultimately need to be looking at these 3 games that we've had, that we put in an okay performance against the City side, but they're still obviously way too good for us. We put in a good performance against Wolves, and I want to win this one against Palace. And if we're looking at 6 points out of a possible 9, I can live with that. I think that's not a bad start. I think that's where I'd be happy with. Obviously, I think we're seeing that we played a pretty okay City side. They're getting better every week. You know, we definitely got them when they weren't quite up to the speed that they've been in the last couple of games, especially Haaland. International football is dead. Hope no one gets injured. Yeah, I've got to agree. After the summer, I'm really not too interested in international football. I'll be completely honest with you. The England national team itself is crazy. The fact that Lee Carsley's running it at the moment is absolutely baffling to me because that shows no intent from England to be completely honest with you, to go for a manager like Lee Carsley when realistically looking at his CV, I think it's probably even worse than Gareth Southgate. So doesn't say much, does it? Although, look, we're not allowed to judge managers by their CV anymore, according to a lot of fans in this Chelsea fan base. Anyway, let's see what happens. Obviously, lineups out. Let's have a look at the lineup. Do you know what? I'll get that up because I think we're starting to see the lineup that I expect to see pretty much week in, week out. That's what I'm going to say. Let me have a look. By the way, guys, the news on Osimhen is crazy. Don't you think he should have just taken the contract at Chelsea? I know that seems ridiculous, probably selfish on our part when he's going to take a huge pay cut, but like, come on, to not be playing, he could finish himself off completely. Where is it? What do we... Oh, no Trev for them as well, obviously, if he's going out on loan. I don't think we'll be seeing Trevor Chalobah. Probably a few players, though, that Palace will have on show. I don't know. I don't know whether they got Lacroix over the line. Not sure that they did. We haven't... By the way, I expect to win today. We haven't lost to Palace in a while, and I mean a long time. Guys, why is it so difficult to find the lineup on X? Let's see. Osimhen is finished at Napoli and won't be playing. Yeah, look, that's crazy. Honestly, crazy. Isn't he playing for the under-21? Yeah, like that. I just think it's ridiculous, Arn. Why would you not just take the move to Chelsea, just be playing, and then maybe in a year you get a move? Like, if you're not happy at Chelsea and you want more money, you go and ask for a better contract. If you don't get it, you ask for a move. Because don't perform and they'll sell you in two. That's what's going on at the moment everywhere else. How do I do this? I think that. Here we go. We'll look at the lineup quickly. I think it's this one. There we go. So predicted starting lineup: Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Fofana, Colwill, Cucurella across the back four. We've seen, haven't we, a little bit more of a fluid inversion from either fullback, dependent on the game. To be honest with you, I think Gusto probably is better out wide than Cucurella, so I expect to probably see Cucurella coming inside. However, I think the fact that we can change it up is a real strength at the moment because both of those seem pretty comfortable inverting. Caicedo and Enzo, obviously I expect to see Cucurella or Gusto probably pairing Caicedo in that sort of pivot. Enzo is looking to push on a little bit more like he's been doing in that slightly more advanced role. Had a better game against Wolves. I slated him a lot against Man City. I felt like he looked like he was out of his depth. But to be honest with you, I think he had a better game against Wolves, and I'm expecting to see the same again. If you're wearing the captain's armband, you've got to be the leader. If you don't do that through talking, you've got to do that through what you're doing on the pitch. And I think there was a better level. Madueke, Palmer, Neto is what the front or the attacking midfield three is going to look like. That's nailed on for me at the moment. Madueke's in a really, really good spell of form. Neto is definitely our best option on the left-hand side right now. Obviously, yet to be seen where Jadon Sancho is going to fit in. Palmer is obviously Palmer, and Jackson's going to start up front. Now, Jackson has to just keep scoring because I think if there's any drop-off from Jackson, Felix and Kunku are waiting in the wings. It's one of the first times I look at the bench and I think, do you know what? That's not a bad bench. I can live with that. You know, last season I looked at it a couple of times and thought there was a lot of injuries and there were so many kids on it. The fact that I can see Jorgensen, Tosin, Dezassi, Vega, Dewsbury Hall, Cassidy, Mudryk, Felix, and Kunku, that fills me with a bit of confidence. I quite like that. The one thing that is the standout omission for me, unless I forgot someone, is Badashile. Badashile's no way near that team. And does that mean that he's fully part of like the Conference League team and that's where he's going to be? But what are your thoughts on the lineup? Do you like this lineup? Do you think this is what we're going to see for a few weeks now going forwards? I think going forwards, actually in the game, it's scary, isn't it? Madueke in the current form, Pedro Neto on his day, we know how good he can be. Cole Palmer, exceptional. Nicholas Jackson, he's still scoring this season, so keep it up. We do have a lot of games, says Dan. That's very true. So that's why there's a beauty of squad rotation. I was looking at the bench and I was thinking Casaday's on there. That's an interesting one. Maybe there's an injury, obviously in Lavia, but maybe Casaday is starting to get on the right side of Maresca. Obviously, being a fellow Italian, he's not gone anywhere. Obviously, a guy with a lot of promise as well, Casaday. Lavia and James will be back after the international break. Exactly. And then I think we start to see, and Sancho, obviously, after the international break, we start to see a really strong subs bench with a lot of room for rotation and adjustment in the game. So, yeah, I don't mind it. It would have looked a lot better with Osman's name on it, but obviously that hasn't happened. I think it would have looked a lot better with a backup striker on the subs bench as well. It's probably going to be Felix or Nkunku that fills in that role if we need to. But yeah, an out-and-out striker for me would have been someone that I would have liked to have brought in this window, to be completely honest with you. But let's get back to the action that's going to be starting pretty soon at Stamford Bridge. It's a sunny touch. It's going to be a difficult afternoon for Crystal Palace. That's what I think. I think Crystal Palace at times will be on the back foot an awful lot against this defence. Pretty similar to how we saw Wolves, but I do think Crystal Palace are a better outfit than Wolves. I don't expect to see them let in 6. I just don't. Dan, how are we feeling about the midfield? Says Bobby. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Look, I think in Casado and Enzo, we've paid a lot of money for them, and we want to see more from them. And I'm in that boat today. I really, if we see a good performance, I'm happy with it. If we don't, then I think questions will start getting asked again. I want to see the Enzo Fernandez I saw against Wolves. Um, defensive, defensively, that's my worry too. I struggle looking at that team with the 2 centre backs and the goalkeeper, and I only hope for more improvement as the season goes on. The one thing I will say is that if that's settled, I do believe there'll be improvement between the 3. I really do, because just as it goes, just by playing football, getting into the swing of things, understanding each other's games, that consistency definitely helps. Mark Gehy's just walking out of the tunnel as the Crystal Palace captain. I've got to be honest with you. For me, that's a player I would have been happy that if we'd have bought in and gone after, especially after Newcastle had so many failed bids. I think Chelsea definitely could have gone after that one for sure. So yeah, look, it's an interesting one. I've already said that. We'll have to see what happens. The midfield is definitely an area we're keeping our eye on, isn't it? I don't think it's as weak as the defence, but it's something we have to look at. Wesley Fofana, for me, all eyes on him. I don't think he's had the best start to the season, so I would like to see a little bit more of an improvement. I expect to see Cucurella and Gusto getting sharper as well. And Levi Colwell's another one who's in a very similar boat to Fofana, apart from the fact Fofana has evidence of being a really good centre-back in the Prem. And I really haven't seen that from Levi Colwell yet. In a short amount of time, I have seen Levi Colwell get twisted inside out and outside far too much. Twisted inside and out far too much. Who do you think will have the better season, Sancho or Mudryk? Honestly, I think if Sancho can get himself on the pitch, I think Sancho will. To be honest with you, I probably expect to see Mudryk sort of start to drift out of the team a little bit, because I think people are losing patience with him, and the fact that Sancho's come in, I think we're all well aware Sancho's probably a more of a finished article than what Mudryk is. What I would say, if you could put the 2 together and give Sancho Mudryk speed, my gosh, you'd have an unbelievable player. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Let's see what happens. But, yeah, good. Love that from you. Okay, just getting this ready. Bear with me. That is the beauty, though, isn't it? We've literally not even played played a couple of these players during the week, and like we're reaping the rewards, which is nice. Where is? I'm just getting the scoreboard ready. I don't want to miss it. Sancho played with Cole Palmer before at City, and Lavia and Tosin. So they've all there's definitely a link coming together here from Joe Shields and Enzo Maresca's. But I don't know if Maresca managed them, but definitely Joe Shields' younger sides. Look, I'll be honest. I really like the signing of Sancho. I just don't think it was Chelsea's absolute priority to get Sancho when I felt like we were pretty strong in those areas, defensively and going forward. I felt like we over 4 windows we haven't done enough in terms of recruitment in those windows. Because even by now, yeah, say Koulibaly had just had 2 good seasons, he'd be coming to his end. So yeah. Ismail Assar is a Crystal Palace. Don't think I knew that. Guys, any score predictions before the game starts? The Chelsea keep a clean sheet. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3-2 Chelsea. Only one trust at Chelsea is Joe Shield. Yeah, I agree. By the way, I think Joe Shield is definitely a player, definitely a guy that I'm starting to have a bit of trust in. I really like his footballing opinion. I like the players he likes. I like the play. I like what he's doing in terms of people that he's bringing in, and they seem like they're good fits. So yeah, definitely someone that's looking like a real good appointment, to be honest. Dan Knights is 3-1, hoping that we do let in one less goal than we've been doing already this season. I haven't seen a change to the defense, so I'm not sure I see any difference in how much we've been conceding. But fingers crossed it does. Let's hope the referee has a better game than some of the refereeing we've seen already this weekend and this season in the Premier League. Definitely. Palace have kickoff. They are attacking towards the Matthew Harden end first. Palace in yellow, Chelsea in blue. Palace go long from the kickoff pretty much straight away. So we'll give it a couple of minutes, just sort of see how it settles, hopefully, and see where Chelsea are at. Although Palace look to get in early there. Mateta thumps a shot against Wesley Fofana. Do you know what? I look at Wesley Fofana wearing the 29 and it just doesn't look, it looks really weird to me. I don't know if I feel like that's a defender's number. Probably a striker's number, if anything, at 29. Our defensive problems are about our midfield, not our defenders. I don't think our defenders have looked that good, though, Bobby, to be honest with you. I think our defenders look bang average at the moment as well. And I think our midfield looks bang average too, unfortunately. Put both together is definitely a bit of an issue. But I feel like we've probably got Enzo's gone down early there. He's holding his leg. He's not up yet. A couple of players down at the moment. Pedro Neto's gone down as well, which is just not what you want to see. Kamada playing for Palace. That's a player I want to see a bit more of. Pedro Neto's not the type of player you want to see going down, is it? If I'm being honest with you. Guys, if we could smash 10 likes off the bat for this one, that would be unbelievable. So let's just try and work the likes up on this one. We had a great amount of likes the other day on the deadline day stream. Unfortunately, the likes didn't manifest Osman coming in, which is a bit of a shame. Can't deny that. Cole Palmer with a free kick, sort of left-hand side, definitely crossing distance. He's going to go for that, crosses it, hits the first man. Not a great cross, to be honest with you. I've definitely seen better than that. Enzo Fernandez with some nice link-up play actually there between Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, and Cole Palmer. Gusto inverting at the moment next to Casado. Really in a central role at the moment, Gusto. Literally between the two centre-backs. He's put his foot on. See, I don't mind this. We're starting to put our foot on the ball in games, which is like we didn't really do that under Poch with any intention. Now they put their foot on the ball and they try and get players to move and look for the right opportunities. Which is I watched City yesterday and I saw them doing that a lot. And maybe that comes from the Pep Guardiola sort of thinking. We're in the box here with Enzo. It's a low cross. Keeper picks that up nicely. Yeah, it's looking like an okay start considering 2 minutes in. Cucurella plays a lovely ball to Neto. Neto with a fantastic ball to Enzo, who makes a great run. To be fair, I'm starting to see a little bit of more athleticism from Enzo. So maybe that hernia was really causing an issue because I definitely don't remember him being as unathletic as he looked towards the end of last season before the surgery. So yeah, hopefully shake off a bit of rust, and we'll start to see the Enzo Fernandez we all wanted to see. We got the ball just on the halfway line now with Wesley Fofana, who's drifted out to the right-hand side. He's plays it all the way out to Cucurella on the left. Enzo picking up like a pretty high advanced position here. He's not as high as the strikers, but he's definitely drifting in behind Adam Wharton and Hughes and Kamada. There's a lot of space for Enzo to occupy. If they can get the ball to him in those pockets, I expect him to try and make something happen today if he can be clinical enough in his final ball. Yeah, and Enzo Fernandez is picking up a really good space here, to be honest with you. Um, let's see where Levi Colwell can go with the ball right now. Yeah, look, we've lost the ball. We've lost the ball there, and I feel like Levi Colwell just looked really unsure of what to do in possession. And I feel like that's not the first time I've seen that under him. But we'll see. It's a long game, isn't it? It's a long game. It's hot as well. So that I don't know if there'll be drink breaks, but you never know. Sometimes those drink breaks work in your favour if they have them, because the managers get everyone in and have a good little chat and have a little mini team talk and change the swing of the game. Enzo's looking positive at the moment. I've got to say, 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in, Cucurella. Do you know what? I've got to make a point. So far, our pressing with in the final third, in the team's defensive third, as such as Palace right now, I've been so impressed with that in every game under Maresca. I really have. Even against City, I thought we were okay with it. I think we were just a bit more nervous that City could come through with ease. But against the likes of Wolves, Palace, even Servette at times, I felt like our pressing, and even in pre-season, I felt like we were pretty good in that sense. So, yeah, definitely like that at the moment. Big. The commentators just highlighting the fact that Noni Madueke is going to have a real battle on his hand against Tyreek Mitchell, but can Tyreek Mitchell keep him quiet today? It's going to be an interesting one because do you know what? Nori really struggled, but I think he's got a completely different game and style to Tyreek Mitchell. I really like Nori at Wolves. I think he's a really talented footballer, but I just think defensively, maybe he's not a defender. Maybe it's as simple as that. Guys, light goal at the moment is 10. We're literally 2 off it. There's enough of us in here to make it happen. I know that for sure. So if we can just smash that and get the stream out there early doors. A little bit late starting today, I know. I like to get on normally before the game by quite a bit so we can chat about the lineup and things like that. But I'm off my feet busy at the moment, guys. So live as soon as I could be for this one. 7 minutes gone. Chelsea nil, Palace nil. So far, Chelsea in the ascendancy. We're looking okay, to be honest with you. Jacob says he likes the lineup except Jackson. Jacob, you're not having Jackson. Would you have liked to have seen a striker come in? I think Jackson's okay. I just think he is definitely not the best option out there, and we definitely could have made something happen. It kind of baffles me that we spent all this money on players that are just, probably never going to see the light of day in a Chelsea shirt. They're probably, if they do, they'll play like under 10 games. And we've spent like 20, 30, probably like 60 million maybe this summer on those sort of players. That could have been Osman's wages for 3 years, 4 years. It just baffles me that that's how we've gone about it, because Osman on a 4-year contract or 6-year contract would have been unbelievable news. And the money that you pay Osman, even if you break the wage bill, you'll be rewarded with it when he qualifies you for the Champions League or is the reason you win trophies. That's the reason these teams bring in top level players. Dan Knight says, I don't see us getting top four now. If we got, yeah, I agree. I have to agree, guys. Right now, the odds are definitely long on Chelsea getting top four. I think I really do think that. Water went down the wrong aisle. Yeah, I just think we've missed a trick there. I think Osimhen was available for such a cut price. What are they hoping? He doesn't play for Napoli until January, and then he's even less. And he actually thinks. But the thing is, he's banished from the squad, and he's doing exactly what Chelsea have done to, or Napoli are doing what they've done, what Chelsea have done to like Chilwell and players like that. I just think that's a bit of an issue. And also, by the way, like if Chilwell, is he banished? I don't know. I haven't heard if he's banished or not. But Chile isn't the type of player I'd be banishing. I'd leave him in the squad and let him train. And I think he'd work his way in under Maresca because I think he's a really good pro. And why wouldn't you have him as if say Cucurella gets injured? What, Vega back up probably? Chilwell not on the bench though, so maybe he has been banished. That's another, like, I just think that's ridiculous. But you never know. Maybe with injuries, like you'll start to see these players get themselves in and amongst the team again. Look, I think Trevor Chalobah wasn't banished last year, but definitely wasn't playing. I might happen with Chilwell. It depends if Chilwell's been registered for the Premier League squad or not. If he hasn't, it's outrageous. It's actually really disrespectful if he hasn't, because we're talking about a Champions League winning left back that can't even get on the subs bench at Chelsea. And I'm surprised no one went in for Chile, by the way. I really am. I'm not saying Chile is absolutely going to make the difference for Chelsea, but he's decent enough to be on the bench for sure. We're still dominating possession, sort of 10 minutes in. Enzo Fernandez, that's a really poor ball. Oh, I'm interested to see Adam Wharton. Is this Adam Wharton? Because I feel like he's kind of been taken to the Euros and then dropped from the England squad completely. It's such a weird couple of months for him. Enzo Fernandez plays it out wide to Neto. Neto, take on your man. I think it's Munoz, isn't it? Does he wins a throw? Bobby Fairview, I'm not impressed with this Wharton guy. Not surprised. Nah, you're not rating him. Bobby, who do you think's a better player then? Kobbie Mainoo or Wharton? Because I remember in the summer, everyone was saying Wharton's better than Mainoo, but he wasn't anywhere near playing for England in the summer, Wharton, where Mainoo was. So there was a lot of hype over Adam Wharton in a very short amount of time. Don't get me wrong, he had a couple of like cameo performances or good performances, I think, for Palace before that tournament, but didn't get anywhere near the squad anywhere near this. I was going to say the starting 11, but actually quite a lot of players played minutes at the Euros, but he was one of them that I don't think got much at all, if any. There's definitely space though in behind Palace's midfield between the defenses. Cole Palmer's found himself in that space right now. He shoots. Oh, I'll tell you what, that space has been there all game, and it's either side. It's behind Wharton and behind Hughes. Enzo's been finding himself in those pockets. Cole Palmer just drifted in there, shifts the ball into his left foot. Wrong foot's Gehi. Keeper's probably got it covered. It's just wide of the post. But yeah, that's a space at the moment I would be looking to try and get myself in if I was Cole Palmer or Enzo Fernandez. Adam Wharton has been very panicked here. Mainoo is way calm with the ball. Yeah, Kobbie Mainoo's composure on the ball is a joke at times. That goal he scored last season when it was like superb dribbling. Oh, Mark Gu's not in the squad as well today. Another one who's finding himself on the fringes that I'm sure will be playing in the games in Astana and Ireland and places like that. Well, Astana's Kazakhstan, isn't it? But Yeah, I was looking at the times for our kickoff today, or kickoffs and fixtures in that conference league. We got like a half free kickoff in Kazakhstan. Unbelievable, mate. You know, I looked at the flight. It's a 10 and a half, 11 hour flight, not direct for the majority of Chelsea fans. That is a ridiculous fixture. By the way, news to me, I had no idea Kazakhstan was in Europe or in UEFA. Never seen them any. I didn't know they were in qualifying for like European competition. So in theory, they could be in the Euros. I never knew that. Another foul from Will Hughes in the middle. That's just what he's going to be about today. It's blatant, pulling Jackson's shirt. That's one of Jackson's real strengths, isn't it? The way he can just get the ball in the half turn in and around the halfway line and start making up yards and making up the distance. He's very, very good at that. He's won a free kick here, moved Chelsea nicely up into the attacking third, crossing, not really a crossing situation, but definitely a free kick that's going to be a long ball into the box. Just trying to look the size difference. Palace look like the bigger side by quite a way. Cole Palmer dribbles with it and gives it away. A bit of a wasted opportunity, that one for me. Enzo Fernandez with the ball very deep in his own half. We've gone all the way back to the keeper from that free kick. That's so poor. Sanchez smashes it long to no one. 15 minutes in, I'm starting to feel like we've kind of we've kept the ball, but that's a real couple of pointless efforts attacking wise there in terms of what we've tried to do. Sanchez has hoofed the ball. Wesley Fofana's really sort of picking up a right back role at the moment. And then Madueke is even wider. Gusto, definitely more inverted, but for me, I would definitely have Gusto where I can see Fofana on the ball and picking it up. Gusto's trying to drop into the pockets in and around Crystal Palace's midfield as well. They've obviously identified that there's going to be space in between those lines of Crystal Palace's defence and midfield. So let's see how it turns out. Gusto turns well. Enzo is such a poor ball, man. You can see what he's trying to do, but it is poor. He's just not on that level. He's just not on that level of what a number 10 needs to be in that role. That's poor, man. Yeah, we should be. You're right. We probably are on top, and we're definitely finding space. But when you see Enzo Fernandez do that, it's not good enough, to be honest with you. It's such an opportunity to have us through on goal, and the quality just isn't there. When you look at what Man City and even West Ham were doing yesterday, they look way better than us in that situation. For some of our players, Wharton's going to shoot here. Wharton shoots. Good save from Sanchez. Good save from Sanchez. Yeah, do you know what? That's a really good opportunity, by the way. Really, really good opportunity. It's a pretty flat game, if I'm being honest with you right now. It's we've dominated the ball. We've not done a lot with it. Cucurella goes long here. We give it away. On the second press, we're actually short to that on the second ball. Oh, he turns Jackson there. Oh, and strides away from him, plays the ball. He's good, man. He'd be quality. What an addition that would be. I'll tell you what, we're probably lucky Newcastle didn't get him because that would make him stronger. What are we thinking? Eze's stayed at Palace as well, hasn't he? I said he wouldn't get a move. Everyone was telling me Eze's going to get a move this summer. I said he would stay at Palace this summer. Everyone was telling him, no. He's going to go Spurs. He's going to go Arsenal. Could go Man City. He stayed there. I just didn't think he'd leave. I feel like Elise wants the move. Eze probably wants the move, but I definitely didn't think that he'd go anywhere. I'll tell you what, Palace are slowly starting to come into this game a little bit more. They're definitely having a better spell of possession than Chelsea right now. They're moving it well. They're going all the way back here. Yeah, it's a slow game, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's a slow game. Palace looking to go long here. Mateta running, Cucurella picks it up. It's what a Chelsea do. What who I didn't see who that was, but what are we doing? The last couple of minutes, there's been a drop off from Chelsea. There's been a bit of a drop off. We had a good spell with possession, but we didn't manage to do much with it. And as the game settled, I feel like Palace are starting to be the side that looking a little bit more assertive in possession. I think it was Casado. There's such a great chance to bring the ball down there. He's brought the ball down, hoofed it up, not even brought the ball down, sorry, and just hoofed it up into the air. Not really good enough. What are the scores in the other games? Have we got other teams on? I think Tottenham are playing, aren't they? And I think Tottenham are playing Newcastle. Where's Palace go long again? They're looking for a ball in behind that I just don't think is there. They're trying it. That was a ball in behind that was there in pre-season against Chelsea. I haven't seen that be there really in recent weeks. I feel like Maresca's addressed that. Our high line is nowhere near what it was. In fact, I wouldn't even call it a high line anymore. It's not. Cucurella's been fouled there. Yeah, I was worried then. Cucurella started dribbling across the front of the box. That's not what you want to see. That's not ideal, to be honest with you. He has been fouled though. I feel like we're it's 20 minutes in. I just feel like we're really lacking a clear sort of idea here, and it just doesn't seem that dissimilar to what I would see game after game under Poch. And maybe you have to say that it might just be the players. What I find with the defenders, that is so poor from Fofana. Yeah, look, Chelsea are out of this game. Not out of this game at the moment. That's the wrong phrase. But Chelsea are definitely not in the ascendancy. Palace are looking a little bit better. Casado does well to dispossess, but we're not winning the second balls at the moment. Yeah, it's definitely not great at the moment. Casado does well, and then it is. Do you know what? It is a foul. It is a foul on Casado, but Chelsea don't seem close to the second balls at the moment. Cucurella has the ball out on the left hand side, turns back inside, back to the centre backs. Casado picks it up just on the edge of the circle at the halfway line and just plays it out wide to Wesley Fofana, who then looks down the line to Madueke. Jackson neither gets a touch, but Madueke is in here. Madueke! Oh! Oh, Mads. Do you know what? I don't know how that opportunity's arise because it looked like no one touched the ball. But I think that's what it was. Everyone kept missing the ball. It's a really hopeful long ball from Fofana. Everyone gets a bit mixed up. Madueke just keeps chasing it. It's him and the goalie. The ball settles. I think he's completely missed the target from Madueke. It's such a great chance because Palace and Jackson were all over the place. But I like that from Madueke. He's sharp. He's hungry at the moment. So yeah, like an unlucky opportunity there. We've done well here with Casado picking it up. Enzo out to Cole Palmer. See, that's what I've liked so far. Palace give it away cheaply. We're going forward with numbers very quickly. Corner for Chelsea. Come on. Come on, Chelsea. That's what I want to see. Palace had a bit of a spell, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully it's a blip. Chelsea sort things out nice and quick. What I found last season was that the spell continued for a long time in the game with Pochettino, didn't it? Let's see. We get a whip here from Cole Palmer. It's hit a man in the box for Palace. Enzo puts it back in. It's a deep one. Jackson's going to chase. Plays it out to Pedro Neto, edge of the box. Working it back round. Enzo Fernandez centrally has it. Plays it in behind to Madueke. What a save! Oh my gosh, what a save. Is that Hendo? Madueke looking really sharp. The pass from Enzo Fernandez is unbelievable. The weight is brilliant. It just drops perfectly in behind. Madueke gets a right foot on it, maybe a shin. It looks like it's in. Henderson, unbelievable acrobatic save, tips it onto the bar and over. Another corner for Chelsea. Madueke looking lively and causing havoc to Palace's defence. Enzo Fernandez, that's what I want to see more. Cole Palmer, it's another not great corner from Cole Palmer, to be honest with you. Gusto, furthest man back, has the ball the halfway line for Chelsea. A good little spell. I think we probably could have come away with a goal from that. Definitely. Neto driving inside. No one there. Just recycles the ball out to Casado around the halfway line. Enzo Fernandez sort of drifting out wide. Cole Palmer, widest player at the moment for Chelsea, out on that right-hand side. Casado and Gusto have the ball just around the centre circle. So we move the ball back there. I see what we're trying to do. It's definitely vertical, isn't it, this football from Chelsea, the majority of the times. We try to drag teams onto us to then attack through them with pace and numbers quickly. Couple of good opportunities there, though, for Madueke. Unfortunate not to have a goal, because that last save from Henderson was fantastic. Fernandez probably no foul, really. Palace on the break here. Fernandez looked like he was fouled to me. We've got back with good numbers there pretty quickly, but they've played straight through us again. This looks so similar. That looks so similar to that Haaland goal for Manchester City. That looked almost identical. Madueke on the... Oh, here we go. 4 players for Chelsea flying up through the Palace half. Madueke into Cole Palmer. It's not a great ball, but Jackson's in. Please don't be offside. That could be a fantastic counter-attacking goal from Chelsea. Please don't be offside. Wow. Our counter-attack is blisteringly quick. Madueke, come on. Unbelievable. Henderson's gone down injured here trying to claim something. Madueke into Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer into Jackson. A complete reverse from what we saw at Wolves. But what a counter-attack. Unbelievable. It's probably going to go VAR. I think it will. Could be an offside. I'm not sure where Jackson was when Cole Palmer played the ball forwards. Oh my gosh. Madueke dusts Will Hughes. Great ball, onside Cole Palmer. Jackson's behind as well. It's a goal. Come on. That's a goal for me. I can't see what's happened to Henderson. Henderson's injured himself there, if anything. Oh, what a counter-attack. Cole Palmer assists, Jackson goal. Maybe we didn't need Osimhen after all. Oh, Chelsea are looking unbelievable on the counter-attack. That's a goal, man. I don't see it getting disallowed. I don't see that getting disallowed. Guys, we're scary going forward. We're not scary at times when we've got the ball on the edge of the opponent's box, because I don't feel like we've got the unlocking capabilities yet. I don't see it enough. But on the counter-attack, when them 4 got running, honestly, Neto, Jackson, Madueke, Cole Palmer, they flew through that Palace half. Like, Madueke dusted Will Hughes on the halfway line, yeah? And they all just flew. That was a rapid counter-attack, mate, and a lovely little finish. I don't know what's happened to Henderson there. He might have smashed his head on one of the Palace defenders. Dan, you're not celebrating. Come on. It's a goal, mate. They're not going to disallow that. I just don't see how they do. Madueke, by the way, that is... Oh, Will Hughes, mate, he will not want to watch Match of the Day today. My gosh. I don't know which centre-back played the ball out to Madueke, but very alert, very, very alert that Madueke had that one-on-one. So I have to commend the centre-back. And then Madueke, they're going to sub him off here, I think. The keeper's warming up. Let's see. But that was unbelievable. isolated Will Hughes and then one-on-one on the halfway line out on the right-hand side where you see Madueke so often, puts the ball past him and goes. And as soon as they see Madueke one-on-one, Jackson, Cole Palmer, Neto, Sancho's there, Sancho next to Egg Barley, they just flew. They just flew. Come on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, to be fair. Great goal. Nicholas Jackson goal. It looks like it's been given, guys. I don't think they're going to rule that one off. That is an unbelievable goal. We're literally just waiting, by the way. We're just waiting because that keeper's still down having treatment. Whit Stanley and Stewart are there. They're very close to each other. Like, that's the first time I've ever seen that. Whit Stanley was literally all over Stewart then. Like, he's leaning right on him, and Stewart's a bit like, can you get off me, please? That's a bit weird. Like, maybe something's like developing a working relationship there. You never know. Stewart was definitely looking a bit uncomfortable there, though. I've got to say, like, Whit Stanley might be one of them guys who doesn't understand what personal space is looking at that one. My God. You know, like that guy that goes Glastonbury with the guitar. If we keep missing out on Champions League football, our best players will leave. Look, what we've got. Yes, I don't disagree. Chelsea have to get Champions League football that sooner rather than later. Otherwise, the consequences will be dire. However, Manchester United don't have Champions League football right now, and they've done okay in terms of recruitment and keeping some players. So I think it's okay. Europa League is respected now. Obviously, it's not, but Europa League with a hungry and ambitious club is respected. Look at Aston Villa. They were getting Conference League last season, or they were in the Conference League because they got it the season before, and then they're in the Champions League now. So as long as the club has ambition and matches it, I don't mind that. Results of siege mentality. They better be close because they'll look like mugs. Yeah. However, look, we can only beat teams that are in front of us, and against these sort of teams, I even think we said so many times last year when the game opens up, Chelsea look unbelievable. Like, we look good in the games that are open. It's the games. Cole Palmer and Madueke, Dustin Will Hughes again. Hang on, guys. Madueke shoots, it's wide. When the game opens up for Chelsea, we look dangerous. We looked dangerous last year. We look dangerous now. It's the strength of this profile of squad that we've put together is that in a game that is end to end, we look very good. We look very, very good. We look strong, and that looks like our strength, right? Is when the game is end to end and we're in a race with people and the game isn't slow. When the game is slow and Chelsea are in control and there's a team sitting in the low or mid block, we struggled last year, and I don't see improvements yet really under Maresca. I think we do need to improve in that situation. I think that's what a number 9 would do. I think a number 9 in that situation really helps us to cause a bit of an issue for the defenders. But when we're in transition, we've got a lot of strengths in this side, a lot of runners. Gusto beats his man here, crosses the ball. Jackson headed away by Gehi first. Enzo probably fouls. Unlucky. We look good playing potch ball. Mate, we look good. Yeah, true, actually. True, that, I see what you're saying. Like, maybe Pochettino was right. But look, the problem is with Poch, there were too many times when we kept the ball and we didn't do much with it. I can't moan at that, guys. I can't moan at it. But it doesn't, do you know what? It doesn't look too dissimilar to what we saw last season, though. It doesn't look too dissimilar. It's not drastically different. It really isn't. Like Liverpool. I can watch Liverpool and they look drastically different to what Klopp had them doing. And I watched West Ham yesterday and Lopetegui's made them look completely different to what David Moyes had him doing. I don't think we look that drastically different to what was happening last year. Fofana's just fouled Mateta there. Palace have got the ball just past the halfway line. They're going to go long here, obviously, and try and just dominate us aerially. We've looked poor this season from set pieces and aerial duels, sort of these sort of situations when our defenders haven't really won the battle. We saw it against Wolves. Here we go. Eze to deliver the ball from a long way out. It's floated in, back post against Cucurella. Palace win the ball. Can they work a shot? It's a poor touch from Palace. They go for Jackson out there against Klein on the halfway line. Klein has the ball put through his legs and brings Jackson down. No, apparently he doesn't. Apparently he doesn't. Wow. That looked like a foul to me. With the speed actually to try and get the ball out from our defensive scenario there, or defensive situation, is really good. Like, we're well aware of they pick out a player who's trying to isolate a player on a one-on-one, and we just get the ball straight out to them. Really, really good. Is that Cole? See, Cole Palmer dropping deep there. Just sorted out the fan. Oh, it's poor. Who's that? Levi Colwell. Well won, though. Casado does very well. Gets absolutely clattered, though, by Adam Wharton. That is a foul. I don't think the ref's gone to give that initially. Smash. Oh, my gosh. Casado. Do you know what? He actually jumps because he can see how Adam Wharton's coming in so late. But well aware there, Casado. Colwell gave the ball away. They intercepted it, but it was with a pretty big touch. Casado was straight on it, won it back. So, fair play. Yeah, Dan Knight, I agree, mate. Another goal would be lovely. Right. Oh, I need to do the score. Well done for reminding me. Guys, I'm so useless at the scoreboard because it's not a habit. I need your help. If I forget to update the score, then let me know. But it is a goal. 35 minutes gone. Chelsea, I would say, are in the ascendancy for the majority of the game, but Palace have had a couple of spells and a couple of attacks that look a little bit dangerous. Cucurella striding through. Neto's been fairly quiet, I'll be honest with you. And I think they're dealing with the fact when he goes inside, he doesn't offer a lot. When he's on the outside, I feel like that's his strengths, but they're not letting him win that battle right now, I'll be honest with you. Neto's been quiet. Fofana's played the majority of this game looking like he's a right back. Cucurella the same. Gusto's inverted, but way higher. Like Casado is definitely more of a lone six today. Enzo, Cole Palmer, and Gusto look like they're playing more advanced, but Casado's in there as a lone six. Definitely a position I think he needs to work on. We've given. I thought we'd given it away. Cole Palmer turns unbelievably well. Jackson running in behind the Palace defense. He is there. Madueke on the overlap. Jackson, it's a poor pass, man. The turn from Cole Palmer, it looked honestly like we were going to give the ball away there from Sanchez, but there was enough on it from Sanchez. It's a great pass, and Cole Palmer literally turns in behind. Eze looking to build with Palace here, though. Recovered by Wesley Fofana nicely, to be fair. Well read. Eze tried to pass, intercepted by Cole Palmer. Casado. We've worried Palace. We definitely have. I think they're worried now. Since that counter-attack, they're not coming forward with the commitment of numbers like we saw them doing in that spell that they had. They are a little bit worried, for sure. They're looking at it thinking, I don't know, if we got Neto on the outside here in a race, for sure. Can he deliver it? Oh, mate, nearly a corner. Nearly a corner. It was a deflective cross, but Henderson's managed to keep it in. Yeah, I genuinely think that they look a little bit more cautious now going forward. I can see 7 bodies and a keeper there sort of worrying about the counter-attack. And that's good because when Eze got the ball in transition then, the only person he really had in front of him was Mateta. Whereas a couple of minutes ago, before our goal, they had like 3 or 4 players in front of Eze for an option. So Definitely looking at a little bit of fear creeping into the Palace defensive players for sure. Casado's just gone in so late there. How that isn't a foul on Kamada. That looked very late. I'm shocked the ref's not blown for that. Palace have the ball in Chelsea's defensive third right now. They don't look as good, are they? Spurs are losing. Spurs losing to Newcastle. I thought that would be the case, to be honest with you. They made it look very easy last season. Gusto with a great ball to Jackson. Jackson's 1v2 here. Neto in support now. He plays the ball all the way over. Oh, it's just well read. I didn't see who did that. Someone from Palace literally intercepted that ball off of the chest of Cole Palmer, it looked like. Palace looking to attack again. Ezra's definitely starting to push further forward and try to make things tick. Kamada in the box 1v1 with Gusto, burns him. They recovered defensively in the end. The Wesley Fofana was alert to that one. Adam Wharton. Mate, he's definitely not the player that I was hearing about so far in this game. Definitely not. I'm not sure whether he played in the last game that we played away at Crystal Park, at Selhurst Park. I just don't know if he did. I don't remember seeing him, but we were pretty much in the ascendancy for a lot of that game. Palace just having another spell here. They definitely are. They're shifting the ball around in that sort of traditional horseshoe that you just see so many Premier League teams doing right now. They need to be a bit more positive, Palace, if they want to try and get through Chelsea's midfield here and defence. They need to try and play through it, because that's where I think the issues with our team is straight through our team and keeping the ball and moving it around the wide areas. I feel like we can cope with it. I think we need to be more brave as well in ourselves going forwards and try and play through Palace, because that gap I was speaking about between sort of Wharton, Hughes and the Palace defence is still there. It's been there all game. And I really do think that the more you can get our better, more creative players picking up that space, we'll thrive. Casado's completely isolated in this midfield role on his own. It's not allowing him to do much because Mateta's just keeping on the press. We're seeing him sort of drift out to the right centre-back role now just to get a bit of room, because Fofana's literally playing as a right-back this afternoon. Enzo Fernandez, so poor, mate. You could see he was going to do that. You could just see it. It's so poor. You can see him lining up to do that. And it's so poor. And then he waves his arms in the air. Defensive work rate from Madueke there is unbelievable, because Palace would have been in if he hadn't tracked that run. All came from Enzo Fernandez being lazy in possession. Really, really poor. Cole Palmer turns Will Hughes with ease, coming through the middle of the pitch, all the way out wide to Neto. 1v1 again, goes towards the line, crosses it. It's a great cross. Jackson! It's just not enough on the header, but I trust Neto to go down the line 1v1 every single time and beat his man. Yeah, nice. Neto's got a bit of the Damien Duff about him, I'm not going to lie. A little bit of the Damien Duff about him in the way that he plays, for sure. Robin and Duff, when they used to, one always used to be inverted and one would always sort of drift out to the left. And when they drift out to the left, there's just the way left footers look, don't they? And it's class to watch. It's okay, guys. I'll be honest with you. It's okay. It's not a world-beating performance, but we're managing the game. It's just little moments like that are so sloppy from Enzo, because if his pass is better there, Neto's in such a good position to take on his man, try and beat his man. But it's so poor. It was lazy with the outside of his boot, sliced it, and it just went nowhere. Cole Palmer looking to go in behind. It's just too much on it, to be honest with you. It's gone out for a Palace goal kick. It's just frustrating things like that, because it's a waste of an attack. Like even Cole Palmer there, I see what he's trying to do, but why are we not trying to play through? We're trying to go over the top there and catch Palace out, which I do understand, but there's definitely a chance there to try and play through that team, not rush that pass. We've done it again here. Who is that? Colwell just smashes it. There's no composure with Levi Colwell for a lot of his game. Enzo again. It's gone out to Neto here, but that is not what he meant. That is not what he meant. He's tried to play that through to Jackson. He's put it in between Jackson and Neto when Jackson was quite central. That shows you how wide that ball's gone. He's not got. I just don't see the quality in there. We've been blessed, obviously, over the years watching the likes of Fabregas and Juan Mata in that role where they can pick up the ball and their pass is so incisive. Even Hazard, Cole Palmer as well at the moment. I'm just not seeing it from Enzo enough. A great pass, obviously, to Noni earlier on, but Gusto to hit that from distance. Wow, Gusto was putting everything he had behind it then. Okay, I don't mind this because we're losing the ball, but then we're winning it back with a bit of ease. Like Mateta then had a good chance to get the ball down for Palace, but we've won it back off of his feet and we're trying to build again. Little bit of patience. I don't mind a bit of patience rather than something rushed. Levi Colwell, he looks uncomfortable, Levi Colwell. He's moving a little bit gingerly, as they'd say. Foot on the ball at the moment, literally not moving. I know we're 1-0 up and I know we're nearly at half time, but for me, it's too slow. For me, you need to have patience, but move the ball quicker in terms of trying to play through a team. Levi Colwell literally just stood there. He's not looking for a pass at all. I honestly don't know what he's looking for. Obviously, he can see from a different angle, but I couldn't see what he was looking for. We've given the ball away so cheaply there. We've just taken our foot off the gas completely here. There's a difference between keeping your foot on the gas and impatience as well, which is really important to remember. Um, Enzo Fernandez has trapped back well there, won the ball, gives it away. That is the most Enzo piece of play I've literally ever seen. It's just guaranteed to happen every single game. Come on then. Gusto in the centre circle, looking to play the ball out wide to Neto. It's a great ball. Gusto's a classy player, and Neto again, 1v1, comes inside this time. Enzo Fernandez fails to control the ball. It's gone out for a Palace goal kick. Mate, Enzo, man. I just want to see more from him. I feel like we've paid all this money for him. Like, what are we doing? Jackson got a new contract, obviously, by the way, as well, guys, today. Who scored? Who scored for Newcastle? Let me see if I can get it up. Actually, Harvey Barnes. Fair play. I'm just looking at the ratings that our team's got so far. Yeah, Enzo Fernandez is the lowest rated at the moment. Casado's got a really good rating. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been one of our better players, but he's actually the highest rated Chelsea player right now. I'm not sure I see that. Chris Richards is their number 26. Okay. That is the guy that won the ball off of his chest. Right. Palace free kick. A fair way out. Very central. Not sure who's going to take this. Probably Eze, isn't it? Probably Eze. A couple of minutes to go in injury time. We're at 46 of 48. Let's see what happens. We need to be going in 1-0 up here. Definitely. Ezra and Walton stood over this one. It's very, very central. Chelsea's defensive line is high from this free kick, definitely. He shoots. Did that take a deflection? He shot, you know. Wait, he shot from about 40 yards out. Oh my gosh, fair play, mate. That is, do you know what? That is so disrespectful to Sanchez. That's basically like, I don't rate you. I'm going to shoot from 40 yards out and you're going to struggle to deal with it. It's gone wide, actually. And we've got a goal kick. But half time, I'll take that. I'll take that. Fair play. Fair play. Uh, an okay half. An okay half. Issues annoyingly appearing again, which is just so frustrating because I feel like we've had opportunities there to be in a better position than 1-0 going in at half time. But I can live with that. It's not a bad half. It's okay. Um, it's been slow at times when it needs to be fast. It's been impatient at times when we needed to be a little bit more patient. There, you can move the ball at a really good tempo and be patient. That is what Man City are really good at, to be fair, and definitely other teams in and around Europe and Arsenal. Villa at times, they're very, very good. It's learning, isn't it? It's learning the system. But there's times as well where we've been impatient and we've counter-attacked so quickly. And obviously, it works brilliantly and in our favour because our goal was the result of a fantastic counter-attack. Proper smash and grab transition. But I do get a little bit concerned when I see Levi Colwell stood there, 43 minutes on the clock, 1-0, and he's just like, he's not trying anything. And I think, what are you doing? What are you looking for? You should be trying to move the ball instead of like Levi Colwell's trying to move players around. Why is no one telling him that if you pass the ball and move on the ball, you will start to draw players out of position. You'll start to allow more space for Chelsea players higher up. It's like he's like, you guys aren't moving. But there's probably Palace are quite rigid in their shape there. There's no room for players to go and move to that he can play a clear pass to. So he needs to be aware that he needs to move. And that's what you see some centre backs now do so well. Like players like Calafiori, you saw do it at the Euros as a really recent example. He doesn't put his foot on the ball. He looks up and goes, there's room there for me to run into. He travels into it. The game changes around him as he's moving. And then he looks to play a really good pass. And that's what I don't like what I'm seeing from Levi Colwell. Good couple of good chances from Madueke. A great save, missed the post. Cole Palmer missed the shot very early on as well, just past the post. And a good goal for Jackson. Adam Wharton probably had Palace's best chance with a left-footed shot. And we've contained them pretty well. It's nice to see us going in at half time with a clean sheet, and hopefully we can keep that because honestly, I probably expected Palace to trouble us a little bit more, but if Palace continue like this, they really aren't offering much going forward. And I can see why we are obviously looking to play that long ball over the top because at times we've got lucky, but it was more down to luck more than judgment. Like that chance for Madueke, the ball got played over the top, and he's kind of just kept running, and no one managed to get themselves on the end of it. Enzo with a great ball, actually, and just looking at the highlights there, Madueke got so unlucky. It come off his shin. It could easily be a goal. But yeah, let me know your thoughts at half time. What are you thinking? Good half from Chelsea, or is it one that we can be improving on quite a bit? But 1-0 against Palace, it's not a bad score, is it? We can definitely build on it though, for sure. I'll live with that. Would make any change, but we need another goal. I don't think I'd be making changes right now. I'm pretty happy with what I've seen. Um, but at the same time, I just want to see a little bit more. I just want to see a little bit more. I feel like there's opportunities there for us to have had this game to be sat here at 1-0 is slightly worrying because we could quite easily be in a position where we're not at 1-0 and the game is far more comfortable than what it needs to be now at 1-0, basically. After the international break, I want to see Sancho get some game time. Yeah, I agree. I think he will. I think, you know what? It was quite nice to see. He looked very happy in the crowd, very happy. And I haven't seen him looking happy in a long time, actually. Maybe at Dortmund, obviously. But yeah, nice to see Sancho looking happy. I'm just sort of looking at people's thoughts on that one because some people are extremely happy with that performance, whereas I think there's definitely positives to take, but we have to be mindful that 1-0 isn't great. Enzo Fernandez, is that right, Bobby? Bobby, where do you find that stat? Is that on? Let's have a look. Enzo Fernandez has been really wasteful. Stop time. Love that, Dan. Good one, mate. Let's go second half. Oh no, let me see. I messed that up. We're losing the ball easily. I think we have. I think at times we've been really poor in possession. Eze and Wharton are overhyped. We should be smashing this team. I think Wharton looks a bit like he's overhyped. I have to agree. People are saying that we're looking really good, but I think at times we were way too slow, not assertive enough in what we were trying to do with our passes, and we gave the ball away cheaply. But there are positives to take. What I will say, by the way, is there was one moment, FootMob, yeah, there was one moment when great app, by the way, if people don't use that, love that app. I think Enzo gave the ball away cheaply with that slice. Palace, a couple of passes, and they played the ball out to the left-hand side. And I genuinely, out of picture, you couldn't see who was running. And you see Madueke dust past the left side of Palace, or whoever was there on the left-hand side. That is something that Madueke's added to his game. Because at times last season, Madueke weren't doing that. And you have to commend him. Like, he's looking like an unbelievable player right now. Unbelievable player. Should have had a goal. Hasn't got one, but he will. I think he'll score. I'm confident in him right now. If he doesn't score, he has an amazing impact on the game. Like we just saw when halfway line, that battle with Will Hughes one-on-one, absolutely burns him for pace, puts the ball past him, and it's a see you later, Will Hughes. The fact that the team are so aware now of what Madueke offers in that situation, that 4 of them went with him, unbelievable. Pedro Neto, he's been quiet. I think actually towards the end of the half, we started to see a little bit more. It's like when they gave him the ball, he realised he could beat his man. I think at first he was kind of paying his man a little bit too much respect. Wasn't quite sure. But yeah, then he started putting his head down and taking his man on, and he got past him a couple of times. Just trying to think. Jackson can do nothing but score there. Really hasn't done too much else to affect the game, but I don't mind that when you've got the type of players that we've got. I like seeing Jackson in the areas to score goals rather than getting on the half turn, driving with it when there's enough players around that can do that as well. But yeah, good goal, sharp shooting from Jackson as his celebration suggested, even though it was pretty much open goal, which I love that about Jackson. He scored in an open goal. And he literally, I mean, he is probably one of the only players that could miss. The celebration's outrageous, though, isn't it? It's outrageous. It's like he celebrates like he scored a worldie. Do you think we get a striker in January? I hope we do, mate. I really do. But they obviously think that they need a striker. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going after him. Hear me out. If Jackson sat on like double-figure goals by Jan, they might not go for a striker and think they can live with him. But what happens midweek when like we need a striker to play? They're going to play in Kunku, aren't they? I think Mark Gee, someone like that. Guys, smashing the likes at the moment. If we could get to 25, 30 likes by the end of the day, that would be amazing. We're on 15 at the moment. I'm sure we could do that by the end of today. Jackson did sign a new contract, which I think is deserved, actually. I think he's been okay, and I think that's the way it's going to work right now, isn't it? If you're coming in and you get put on one of these lower wage contracts and then you perform, I think they're pretty keen to extend your contract, keep you here, and give you a reward, which is good for people to see, because if you come in on a lower wage and then you perform and you're aware that the board are like handing out new contracts or new opportunities to earn more wages, I think that's good. And I like that. And I think that's what is good for people to see that are coming into Chelsea, because Sancho might come in on a wage cut from United, yeah, where he was earning an absolute fortune, but he's aware that he's just seen Cole Palmer get his wage doubled. He's seen Jackson have a good season, get his new contract. If he performs well, I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty happy with getting a wage increase every other year or something like that if he's getting a new contract. So I can live with that. Definitely can. Not an issue for me if that's what the wage structure is going to be. However, if the wage structure means that it hinders us from signing the type of players that we need to move us up through the league or further into competitions or win stuff, then I'll have an issue with it, because I think you need to have a couple of players that you would say are outside of the wage bill, or outside of the bracket. You know, like a designated player in MLS. Maybe that's where they've got the idea from. Maybe that's what it is, because that's probably what they have in other sports too. Bobby, he weren't awful. He wasn't awful, to be honest. I think he just took a while to get going. I think also, by the way, Neto out on the right might look slightly better going forward. Like, not going forward, but in terms of being involved in goals. But from the left, his crossing's great. I think he'll be all right. Yeah, I think Cole Palmer looks better centrally. I have to agree. There's so much room for Cole Palmer, by the way. There is so much room for Cole Palmer to pick up in behind that midfield. So, yeah, overall, we're pretty happy with it, I think. But we have to understand there's positives to take, but there's definitely improvements that need to be made. I'm not going to sit here telling you it's an unbelievable performance, though. Like, I'm seeing some people saying, come on, man, like, let's be real here. It just hasn't been on that level. But that counter-attack is scary, mate. It's very, very scary. On the other side of things, Crystal Palace, I'm not sure that they're not. You know how they finished last season? They look really good. They look miles away from that at the moment. They really do. Like, look at this, right? I've got to read this out because it's kind of crazy, but like this is what journalists see, and this is what baffles me. Okay, so I'm just trying to get it up. Okay, right. I'm going to get this up because this is crazy, man. This is crazy. I've got to share this, guys. Right, bear with me. Okay, I've got to share this. Right. Let's go to this one. This is the most solid Chelsea performance of the season so far. Not as free-flowing as Wolves, but barely given anything away. Impressive. Pedro Neto is struggling to get into the game, though. I saw us giving the ball away. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but I saw Chelsea giving the ball away quite a bit. In particular, Enzo Fernandez. However, if he was taking risks, I'd understand. I also saw Cole Palmer give the ball away. I saw Jackson lose the ball. I saw Madueke lose the ball. I saw Levi Colwell give the ball away a couple of times. Gusto once as well. So I've seen us giving quite a bit away, right? But we're trying a risky pass rather than a short pass by Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, most of the time, the passes have been way easier than he makes them out to be, right? So I'm not sure there. He said not as free-flowing as Wolves, which I agree with. I don't think it was. But the first half wasn't that free-flowing anyway. against Wolves. It was the second half where we really opened up. Like the goal we scored, that was kind of free-flowing today. Noddy Madueke matching Tyreek Mitchell's run will delight. I have to agree. So it was Tyreek Mitchell. Unbelievable. I agree with that. You can probably count on one hand the good games Enzo Fernandez has had for Chelsea before this season. But he really looks integral under Enzo Maresca. Excellent last week and again in this half. I'm sorry, but like, what is he watching? Enzo Fernandez, one or two moments that have impressed me. There was one moment when he tracked back and won the ball defensively, but then he lost it instantly. And then there was one moment when he played a great ball into Madueke. Madueke nearly scored. Other than that, yeah, that's not an excellent performance. Where are we hyping? Where are we getting this hype from? The hype's not deserved. Let's be real here. Like, when a player has a good game, praise them. But he's not having a great game. This isn't the performance of £100-odd million player. It just isn't. What are your thoughts on our defending so far? Okay, clean sheet. Palace really haven't offered much. In a couple of moments when they've worried us, I think the recovery's been pretty good. Pretty good, I have to say. So I can live with the defending so far, but it's against not much of a challenge. I personally, I don't think anything would be different if we were playing a better team. I just don't think it would be any difference or be any difference. Palace going forward, they don't look great, and I think they finished our season looking really, really great. The wage structure means we are buying young or flop players. We aren't buying quality last minute. Yeah, I have to agree, Bobby. I do worry that. I do worry that the wage structure will only attract players that are below where they should be in their career or on their way up. Let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens. But that's what baffles me, because people read that online and that's where they base their opinions from, because he's a respectable journalist that I think works for like the BBC or something. He ain't watching the game. It's just crazy. We've got to do well there, though. Gusto wins it. Chelsea with a lot of numbers forwards very early on in this half. Very early on. Just trying to see if there's any obvious adjustments early on. Come on, Enzo. Yeah, that's better. Look, I don't mind that. Just keep the ball ticking, Enzo. Like, there's situations when you need to take a risk and situations where there isn't. What I would say about, obviously, Cole Palmer's doing well. That's a free kick. Free kick, edge of the box. Very central. Will Hughes is on a booking here. I think that's a booking. Without being booked, I think you get booked for that. I think you get booked for that. You know what, mate? That's a booking, man. His hands are all over him. He brings him down. Do you know what? That's a yellow, mate. That's a yellow. Look, if Declan Rice is getting sent off yesterday for something as soft as he did, that is a second yellow. Although we all think that the Declan Rice yellow was probably not deserved. So maybe that's fair to let that one go. I think it's probably a clear yellow, though. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. I think that looks like a yellow card to me straight away. If you did that without being booked, I think you'd get a booking. Right. Cole Palmer and Enzo over the free kick. It almost seems like quite a similar position to where Enzo had the ball against Aston Villa last year. Come on. Cole Palmer. Oh, what a save, mate. Cole Palmer hit that with some venom. What a save. What a save. Boy, do you know what, mate? If Cole Palmer adds free kicks to his locker, yeah, the kid's got everything. Do you know what? It's a really nice strike. It is straight down the middle, but it's a nice strike. Corner for Chelsea. Come on. Come on, Chelsea. Cole Palmer's corners could be better this game. They could be better. Do better now, son. It's a way better corner. You know what? We've got not a shot off. We've got a head on that. Levi Colwell, I think. Henderson does very well down to his right-hand side to save that. Much, much better corner. He's gone way deeper there. He was kind of aiming front post, first man. That one he's gone deeper. Colwell's won his battle and very nearly scored a goal for Chelsea there. Head it. It's bouncing around everywhere. The ball's come out to Casado. I think we're just going to try and rebuild. Yeah, he's turned around. He's gone all the way back to Gusto on the halfway line. Will Hughes is getting sub for Palace. I'm not surprised he's being drugged. He's had a difficult afternoon, man. He should be off. I think, when a manager does that, they're worried, aren't they? They're like, nah, don't know. Let's drag him off. They're booing him, the Chelsea fans. Guys, honestly, a lively little start for the first 4 or 5 minutes of that second half. Not sure who's coming on. Doucouré? All right, let's see. Who was that? Doucouré, yeah. I don't know. I feel like we could have scored. Again, positive. So keep it up, Chelsea. Nice to see us doing something from a set piece because we brought in a set piece coach, and I can't say I've seen a lot. Eze picks the ball up for Palace. He's had a quiet game, man. He's had a quiet game. Do you think Eze's unlucky not to get a move? Or does anyone think that the Palace is a good situation for him right now? He should stay there and just see where it goes. Wharton smashes that's poor, mate. Do you know what? That's the one thing I'll say. At least we ain't got a player doing that in our midfield. That's poor, mate. Adam Wharton on the turn smashes the ball miles past Mateta. Mateta couldn't even get near that. Casado, all over the top. Gusto's done really well here. It's just, I don't know what he's tried doing with his pass, mate. He actually got in behind. The pass from Casado is fantastic, by the way. Have to commend that. The weight on it is perfect. It just dropped in behind their defender nicely. Casado's run's fantastic. Gusto's run's fantastic. And then he just kind of lets the ball hit his side foot. He will leave next summer. Yeah, you reckon? Where do you reckon he goes? I just think it's a good fit for him, Palace. I really do. I think he's in a good club, and I think sometimes those type of players thrive there, like Zaha. Neto coming inside. Fernandez. It's another poor pass, mate. Edge of the box, man. Got to be more clinical. It's this soft little pass that goes to no one. Neto did really well. He come inside, cuts inside, passes the ball onto Enzo. All Enzo has to do is lay it off to Cole Palmer, yeah, or Madueke, whoever was there, and he literally, it's a foul. Casado fouls Kamada, pretty dangerous. Similar position to where Eze had the free kick in the first half. It's just frustrating, guys. It's just frustrating. So I have a feeling that we will see Palace probably, if they shoot from here, fair play. I don't think they will. I think they might try and win a physical battle because I don't think it really worked out that well last time. Let's see what happens. Chelsea don't look set up, by the way. What is this? There's gaps everywhere. There's no wall that I can see. This is mental from this type of free kick. One-man wall. Dink. Cucurella looks all over the place. Fofana. I don't know what Fofana's doing there, man. Too worrying. That was a bit all over the place. Wharton drives through. Edges. Eze edge of the box. I don't like that. Oh! You could just see that happening, man. Oh, you could just see that happening as soon as Eze got the ball on the edge of the box, mate. Chelsea players were so deep. And Sanchez is nowhere near it, even though it's so predictable. What are we saying about Eze? Quiet game? Oh, Chelsea. Well, we said we knew we concede. We did say that. Do you know what? That free kick setup was disgusting. We're all over the place. Sanchez clattering his own man. Adam Wharton actually does really well there. And then Eze, like, oh my God, there's 4 players that could step out to him and they all just stand still. The way we set up for that free kick has allowed that scenario to arise because our team was like spread out the whole way along the line of the edge of the box. Mate, honestly. Do you know what? It's a great finish from Eze, but Sanchez is nowhere near it, by the way. And it's very predictable. He's got one area of the goal that he could put it in. And yeah. No, mate, I'll be honest, yeah. That's probably one, it's poor defender being aware in the situation because no one's got out. As soon as you clear the ball from that free kick, you have to step up to the edge of the box. No one does it, which gives Eze all that room. Hang on, Cole Palmer gives the ball away there. And then the set piece coach, there's an issue there because I don't think that's how I'd be setting up from that set piece. I don't think it is, man. We had one man wall and gaps all the way along. Eze, oh my gosh, Eze's flying through our team there. Wow, the game's going to come to life here. The only good thing about that is that maybe on the counter attack we're going to look all right for sure. Madueke drives past Mitchell, drifting towards the edge of the box. Yeah, just too many touches, to be fair. I think he tried to release it, but it was just a little bit too late. This game's livening up, man. This is what we want to see. Game's livening up. 55 minutes. Oh, mate. It's a great goal. It's a great finish, but I really think there's only one place he can put that, and Sanchez is nowhere near it. I feel like Henderson would have been near that today, to be honest with you. But he's obviously not. Wait, did Henderson go off in the end? I don't know if he did. I know he went down with the injury. I don't know. I think Will Hughes was their first sub, maybe. Right. Come on, Chelsea. Let's get back on the ball here. That's what we need to do. Palace are obviously, the fans are making a lot of noise. Stamford Bridge is honestly so quiet these days. Honestly, there is no atmosphere at the bridge anymore. It's really poor. It's a proper tourist place, I can tell you that much. Like, they look quite good here. The corner for Palace. The noise just doesn't come from anywhere bar the Matthew Arden lower and a bit of the upper. Like the east, the west, it's as corporate as you get, mate. They don't even, like, they barely speak. I sat in the east stand, I think last season, and I was moaning about something as per when don't I, especially last season. But they, like, people were looking at me as if I shouldn't be talking. Come off it. Should be singing or like getting behind the players. I think I was just getting annoyed at Poch probably in his substitutions actually in the East Stand because I could see he was warming up. And then Shed are very quiet these days as well, man. Ball's gone out to. Well, the thing is, they're very quiet in the numbers that they have there at the bridge, but in terms of away days, every Chelsea fan's just on it for an away day. Like, we're really good going away. And I know it's the same fans. I just think actually maybe we need to get all the fans that make a lot of noise on away days all sitting together. I actually think that might be the issue. I don't really think they stick together on an away on. Neto's off, Felix on. Come on. An okay game from Neto. Nothing to write home about, man. He ain't going to my fantasy team just yet. Well done on the ownership. It was really like, mate, it's doing a bit, mate. It's doing a bit. But yeah, look, oh my gosh, what has Fafana done there? And then Colwell's just absolutely hoofed it away, mate. Like, this is what I mean. These people come out waxing lyrical at half time. We had a positive 4 minutes where we probably could have scored. And then that happens. Oh, mate, honestly, not what you want to see. Because 58 minutes is not great. This guy commentating is saying Pedro Neto wants to play on the right, blah 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 blah. I've seen him play all right, to be fair, for Wolves on the left. Maybe he does. Do you know what? That's a great pass from Sanchez on his weak foot. Is he left footed? Do you know what, Dan? It's a bad season away from it, I think. If it goes wrong this year, I think they might do it, man. I just think fans are getting a little bit disinterested. But I think the issue at Stamford Bridge is that I don't think all the fans that make a lot of noise all sit together anymore because I do think that might be a bit of the issue. Whereas, like at Palace and that, the noise generators, they all sit next to each other. I know that's not what they call themselves, but they're the people that are doing it in the ground. Can't remember what they call themselves, the Palace Ultras. Maybe that is what they call themselves, the Palace Ultras. But I do. I think when we're all together on an away day, it's like really vocal and loud. And I don't know how we get that at the bridge because even that many fans making that much noise at the bridge would be a difference. It would be. Neto was disappointing. Is he meant to be on the right in that case? We're stacked over there. Yeah, there's no way we sign Neto to be on the right. We can't have, mate. We are stacked there. I think he'll be on the left. I think Maresca wants him to beat the man and cross it. Some game, look, I think for Neto, some games he's going to be more exciting than others, and it's just about managing him, isn't it? It is like he's played what just under 60 minutes today, so he's got 1 point of fantasy as well. He's definitely not going anywhere near my fantasy team. I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to get Cole Palmer in somehow. The boy is just not slowing down. I'm hearing that Tottenham have scored as well. Who scored for them? Does anyone know? Uh, Dan Burn own goal. Oh mate, it's another opportunity, by the way, for Crystal Palace corner, man. Gusto's nowhere near Eze. Eze's drifted in behind him there. Takes him on one-on-one. Wesley Fofana, I think, is recovering. Fofana's done that a couple of times today. He's recovered really well. When Gusto's had his man sort of standing him up, Fofana's been there behind him, which you have to commend as well. Good job from him. Good job for sure. Yeah, Eze's class, mate, isn't he? That pass is like unbelievably difficult to control, mate, and he makes it look so easy. He's a good player, mate. He is a good player. I'm a bit concerned here. We look really small at corners, mate. Like Cucurella and Mateta, man, they're battling it out at the moment. I think the ref's going to pull them up, but like, what is he doing? Like, I'm sorry, yeah. No, like, what set piece coach is going? Cucurella, you're going to mark Mateta today. Who thinks that's a good idea, mate? Put Levi Colwell on him. Put Fafana on him. Cucurella is marking their biggest man. It just doesn't make sense. What about this? Where's the set piece coach at, mate? Like that, it just baffles me. I don't know, man. Neto was a bit of an outlet in the first half as well. As much as he didn't really get into the game in terms of what he provided, he was an outlet for us to put where we could send the ball. I'll be intrigued to see if Felix does that. Great ball from Palace. Well plucked out of the air from Sanchez. Fair enough. Counter attack doesn't happen. Oh, 60 minutes gone. Three seasons. Oh, you mean 3 seasons? Yeah, I see what you mean. Do you think there'll be? I don't know, mate. I don't know, but I've got to be honest. Like yeah. Chelsea don't look good enough right now in this game. I don't understand what's happening with Fofana here. Why? That's a foul from Jackson. I don't understand why Fofana's playing at right back because it just isn't his strength. If Gusto's played there all last season, why would you not just allow him to continue playing there? He's so bothered about this inverting stuff that I think it was sometimes to the hindrance of the team. We're not looking great, guys. Anyone that tells you we're looking great is just obviously like on this self-convincing hype train because I'm copium because I'm not seeing it honestly. We're not looking great. We're 63 minutes gone. We're 1-1. First half we were okay. We're definitely not in the ascendancy now in the second half. Palace go long here. Cucurella loses the header. Mateta's offside, so we're going to get the ball back. Let's see. Like, there's a chance for it to calm down a little bit now, which it kind of needs. Chelsea need to get their need to start keeping the ball because we're not doing that. Colwell takes way too many touches as a centre back. I'll have to be honest. Um, so's Casado. We've seen this before, man. Under Poch a lot. We've got to be braver. We've got to try and play through these teams. We're it's very slow at the moment. So maybe this is the patience, but it's the ball is slow. The way we move the ball, it's slow. You can be patient and still move the ball quicker. It's how many touches it takes to move the ball onto the next person is ridiculous. Where we're keeping the ball as well is we're doing the horseshoe. It's just between Castado, like Castado's playing as a centre back here, yeah. There's no midfielder in a six at the moment, and Fofana's on the right. Felix gives the ball away. No, Madueke's gonna fight for it though. Eze, oh my gosh, Eze, wow, unreal. Win that, Enzo, better. Nice to see Enzo defensively there doing some work. Enzo, be better. It's a poor pass to Felix, man. Come on. Madueke crosses. It's deep. Easy catch, man. Jackson's close, but yeah, it's a real lackluster sort of attack there, mate. Honestly, um, I don't understand this. Fafana's basically playing as a right back in possession, and Casado's dropping alongside Colwell as the centre back. Gusto's picking up this really random position for him, just sort of like he is inverted, but he's not inverted in centre midfield. He's inverted in a way more advanced role where you'd think Cole Palmer probably needs to pick up, but Gusto's it looks like we're losing any option through the midfield of someone getting their head on the turn and trying to play creative pass. Enzo's just dropping back now to try and make that happen. Madueke out on the right, beats his man. Mitchell recovers well. Like, I don't understand this Wesley Fofana right back thing, mate. Honestly, I just don't get the obsession with it. Cucurella obviously is playing a very similar role to him, but Casado is playing as a centre back, and then defensively, Fofana tucks in and Gusto goes back out to right back. I don't see the effect that. Wow, great ball. They're in here. That's a goal, mate. Oh my gosh, Gusto. Fair play, but he might have injured himself. Fair play. Fair play, mate. I thought Eze was in for his second. Fair play, Gusto. Yeah, fair play. Yeah. Malo Gusto, mate. Unbelievable. Fair play. Look, it's oh, come on, Malo. I don't what I don't understand, right, is there's all this switching around in terms of players changing their position and trying to be fluid when attacking we're doing something and then defensively we're doing something else. But in if a team counterattacks us really quickly, in that time that Fafana's got to get back to where back more centrally, Casado's got to step up to the man progressing through the middle, and Gusto's got to get back from that inverted sort of Cole Palmer sort of area of the pitch where we've seen Cole Palmer play a little bit last season, which is like a right-sided cam in between the centre back and the fullback. He's got to bust a gut to get back to right back. By the time that happens, if a team's well equipped, they will literally cut through Chelsea, which is what we've seen happen so many times already this season. I don't see the benefit of having Casado at centre back. I don't see what he's offering. Where if Fofana was there, I don't see what Fofana is offering at right back that Gusto can't offer, and I don't see what Gusto is offering in that space between Cole Palmer and Madueke. I just don't see what he's offering, and then I don't see what Enzo Fernandez is offering in exactly the same space on the other side. This is baffling me because I don't understand what it is bringing to the performance because the performance is pretty poor at the moment. It's not great. So, like, I don't understand what all these hybrid fluid tactics are offering and these players transitioning between different positions in and out of attack when it isn't benefiting the side in terms of winning the game of football. If we were winning the game of football and you could really see these players having an effect, in these different roles in and out of transition. I'd understand it. But they aren't having a like Fofana isn't having a better effect on the game at right back than he would at centre back. Casado isn't having more of an effect at centre back than he would if he was playing in midfield. It doesn't make any sense. It looks like Frank Lampard football right now. There is no one between Cole Palmer and the centre backs. There's no one there. And we've got the ball, by the way. Palace on the attack again. Here you go. It's exactly what I'm saying. Like Casado's there. Like it just is baffling me because I don't understand Madueke with a great touch. Come on. Our midfield is non-existent, by the way. Non-existent. There's no one there. Because they're playing out of position. Like Enzo is playing miles away from Casado. Casado is playing as a centre back. It's all over the place, mate. Can people not see this? I don't understand. We've barely had the ball this second half now. We're at the 70th minute now. Poor ball from Palace. Palace are in the ascendancy, guys. It's not looking great, mate. I'm just trying to understand, like, what is going on here? The gaps between our lines are so massive as well. Guys, I don't understand what Chelsea are trying to do with the ball right now. I don't see how how we are trying to work an opening. I do not see it. There's no midfield. Gusto's just pulled his hamstring. Mate, Gusto's fucked. Oh, guys, this is a bad afternoon, man. Gusto's just gone down. He's locked up. I think he's either cramping up or he's done his hammy. At least there's an international break coming up. It could be cramp. It could be cramp. The way he kind of jolted is like when cramp hits you. I'm honestly so baffled by this performance, man. This is poor. Like, can anyone tell me how they think if anyone's seeing it, how they think Chelsea are trying to work and open in here? Because I'm just not seeing it. Guys, drop a like if you're frustrated with this game today. Drop a like if you're frustrated with how Chelsea have been this season, man. Gusto, I think, might come off. Mudrik's warming up. That's where I like Sancho. That's where I can deal with Sancho, yeah, because Sancho, bringing on Sancho is feels more effective to me than bringing on Mudrik. However, Mudrik brings a bit of pace and it's exciting and that kind of thing. But I have to agree, Bobby. Like, I'm not seeing that Mudrik is the solution to what is happening in this game right now. He's definitely done more than just cramp, I think, the way he's walking. Oh, Chelsea, Chelsea. What is happening, mate? Gusto, an okay game. He's in such a weird position, though. I don't understand, mate. He's playing as like a number 10 on the right. Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know who's going to pick up that Gusto role. It'll be intriguing to see. Maybe Felix, Felix and Cole Palmer sort of start picking up those sort of roles. Cole Palmer's there right now. It'll be interesting to see if anything changes because of that. I wonder if he's tweaking it. We haven't got enough men in the middle. We really don't. Enzo, maybe. Enzo's there. We've got to get a 6 or an 8 in the central areas of this team. Enzo Fernandez, made that. He's poor, guys. Enzo Fernandez is poor. He is not up to the level of the Prem, mate. Just Casado is playing right back. Yeah, it looks like that's what's happening. No, he's not there now, though. Is he? Yeah. God, what is happening, man? Like, is that not a massive? No, Casado. Is he inverting? Yeah. Because yeah, but then does that not make sense if Wesley? Wait, let's see what happens because it's just not out on that side right now. Mudrick fouled, wins a free kick. It's basically going to be a corner. I can't work it out, mate. I can't see it enough at the moment to see what the change has brought. Felix has obviously probably gone more central, I think. That's all I can see, but it is baffling. Come on, Chels. This is a good opportunity for us from this set piece. It has to be. Notice how Palace don't have their smallest man marking our biggest. That's crazy, by the way. They're actually very zonal, Palace. We're in there. Oh my God, Levi Colwell. I think he's missed a great opportunity there. I think Colwell could have scored, mate. I honestly think Colwell could have scored that. Cole Palmer, great delivery, actually. Got to give him credit. There's no one there, annoyingly. I can't even see Jackson. Guys, I have no idea where Jackson was for that moment. Uh, no, it's a three at the back. There's that I can right now, I can see yeah, Casado is like right back, yeah. Oh my gosh, Sanchez. I don't know how he's tried saving that, mate. Honestly, guys, if you haven't already, smash a like for me enduring this because Sanchez, like, he's so scary. What is that? He's put his hands up like that. Oh my gosh, mate. Honestly, that could have gone anywhere off of his hands. It's gone over, thankfully, but that could have gone anywhere. We're trying to hit 20, 25 likes today, guys, but the football just has not got to the level at the moment. So it's a tough game to watch as a Chelsea fan. It's just we're 1-1, but it's been really that's a foul, isn't it? Wharton's so late on Felix there. Palace have got an extra spring in their step. The E size hole of of the E size of that hole in our midfield, they're just lining up, mate. I it looks like Enzo's there now. It looks like Enzo is there, but Casado is right back. Uh, what is this disgusting misprofiling of players, mate? Casado's drifting forwards now, but he's so far. There's no double pivot, obviously. It's a single. It just baffles me. I'm not understanding it, mate. I'm just not understanding it at all. Wesley Fofana's more central here on the ball, which is one good thing. But then he drifts out wide. There's no one there. It just baffles me, mate. Play a right back. He's telling Casado to go there. No, play Casado where he should play. Play a right back. Fuck the stupid inversions. There's no point. It's not adding anything to our game right now. But this is Maresca's system. That's what is that from Fofana, mate? Honestly, yeah. You cannot deny that the last two managers of Chelsea and even Graham Potter have completely misprofiled the players. Do you remember when Potter played Sterling at wing back? I'm fed up of it, mate. Stop misprofiling players. Stop playing players. The fans are booing, mate. They're not happy. Like, this is not good football. This is not. People told me this would be great. Come on. This isn't good. This is woeful, guys. Actually, Cole Palmer and Felix are in the areas where I think they should be. Felix looks better there. He's gone with like a 4 behind Jackson. Then then uh then a 3, and then Casado is basically playing like the Rico Lewis role at City. That's kind of what he's doing. That probably looks a little bit better for me than Enzo a little bit deeper than Enzo playing in the 10. That probably looks a little bit better actually, because at least there's someone in there now. We just spent the last 30 minutes of the second half playing without a number 6 or 8. I hope so, bro, because I'm just like, what? This isn't the how. I don't understand how it took that long to see that there was an issue in terms of who was playing in midfield, because there was no one there. But I'm not gonna lie, right now, yeah, right now, this actually might be it. This actually might be it because Casado could drift into this gap alongside Enzo, but that definitely creates a bit of an issue in terms of a right back. It is a weird one. It is, but this is more similar to what we saw Manchester City doing a couple of seasons ago. Now, when they won the Champions League, I think this is how they were playing. Like where John Stones would drift into midfield, a little bit like that. Um, Mate, I tell you what, yeah, this is the loudest I've heard Stamford Bridge, and it's just booing and getting frustrated at Palace like slowing the game down. But the football's not entertaining. I'll tell you that much. It's not, mate. It's not. And Wolves are bad, man. I've said Wolves will get relegated. They're easily the worst side in the Prem right now, them and Everton. So I think they could go. What are your thoughts, guys? 80 minutes on the clock. 1-1 against Palace. A really subpar second half so far. Do you see Chelsea winning it? I'm not sure I do. Hopefully this change, it looks like it's sort of addressed an issue in terms of who was there in midfield, but it still looks empty to me. It still looks like you need another midfielder in there. Or that you need the midfielders closer together because they're so far apart. Let's see. No, Enzo's doing, oh, mate, Enzo's doing what Casado was doing, and Cole Palmer's dropping so deep. That's not like, who thinks this is the right way? Who thinks this is the right way to, like, for these players to play, man? It's not. Enzo's playing centre back, guys. Enzo's playing centre back. Enzo is playing centre back. Honestly, look, you're giving the ball away. Honestly, players aren't switched on. They're playing out of position. This isn't how this team should be playing football. I don't understand how anyone thinks this is beneficial. All this moving around and playing players in these hybrid positions. This is not benefiting the team. They're young, inexperienced players. Allow them to flourish in a position that they want to play in. How does it help Fofana playing as a right back? How does it help Casado playing as a right back? How does it help Cole Palmer playing as a centre midfielder? How does it help Enzo Fernandez playing as a centre back in possession? It doesn't. Maybe I sound a bit old school, yeah, but it doesn't help. We're not winning the game of football. Honestly, Arne, I would not waste your time, mate. I wouldn't waste your time. Enzo's the furthest man back right now on the ball. Oh, this is bad. We're moving the ball so slowly, yeah. We've got players all over the pitch and not in the right areas. I'm just baffled, mate. Fofana's been done here. Number 7 is Sarr. Away from Colwill. Palace on the attack. Kamada. Overlap. He's just smashed it into Cucurella. He's made the wrong decision there. Mudryk on the counter-attack. This is where we stand an opportunity. This is where we have a chance. Come on, Felix. This is where Chelsea have a chance on the counter attack. Madueke one-on-one with Mitchell. Madueke. Oh, mate. Come on, Cooks. Ah, Cooks gives it away, man. And they just smash it away. Mateta against Colwell. Colwell's got to be strong here all the way back to Sanchez. Guys, it's not good. I don't think it's good. I'm getting close to being. I'm going to leave this one. I'm getting close to Enzo Maresca out. His setup is poor. His setup is very confusing. I don't understand what Casado brings as a right back. I don't understand what Enzo brings. Well, Enzo's dropping now in the middle of the two. I'm baffled, guys. I don't understand. We're trying to win a game of football. I don't understand what removing a midfielder from the midfield does in this situation. Palace are dominating the ball in front of Chelsea's defence because there is no midfield there. They're being allowed to swiftly progress through our team because there's no midfield there. Even defensively, man, like there's no midfield because Madueke's holding his hammy. Madueke's literally holding his hamstring. Madueke's holding his hamstring. João Felix is basically dropping in as a midfielder off the ball. The gap between, I think that's Enzo and Felix, is massive. Cole Palmer don't want to go there. You can tell he don't play there. I think Madueke's going to go off here. He is, and Kunku's coming on 85th minute. Madueke's got an injury here. He's got an injury. He's holding the back of his leg. And where's Nkunku going to play then? Cole Palmer will go out to the right, I think. And Kunku's looked at it like, what am I coming on to here, man? I think Nkunku leaves, by the way. I think Nkunku leaves. Maresca's completely. I don't know. Hang on. Wait, Nkunku's out on the right, mate. Nkunku's out on the right at the moment. Surely you put Cole Palmer out on the right and Nkunku through the middle with Felix. Mate, I've just heard the commentator shout Madueke. The guy's gone off the pitch. He's literally just gone off. I think it was Mudryk who crossed it. And he shouted Madueke. I'm telling you, mate, people don't watch football. They do not watch football. Even when they're watching a game, they don't watch it. Fafana's back out at right back, and Kunku's playing right wing. Cole Palmer's remained through the middle. Enzo's the furthest man back at centre back. Even Levi Colwell's more advanced. Casado, come on, and Kunku with the cross. You know what, mate? We're gonna score if we score here. Yeah, it's off. Like we have not had a good half. It's gonna be off of an opportunistic moment. Cole Palmer's dropping deeper here to try and make something happen. Kukurea, I don't know what he's trying. No, honestly, mate, Sunday League, yeah, Sunday League looks better because at least players are occupying places on the pitch that make a bit of sense. There is no point having Cole Palmer centrally like we did, Gusto in between him, and then Madueke. Like, there's just no point having that. It didn't work with no central midfielder and your centre back playing right back and your centre mid playing centre back. There's just no sense in that. Yeah. Commander's going off. Ownership was what the director failed. Was the 4-window plan. They haven't done a great job, have they? And they can't tell me that this is exciting football to watch if they thought they were getting better football. Like, they can't tell me it's better than Pochettino. Pochettino was just as bad as this. Actually, did Pochettino draw to Palace? I don't know if he did. I actually can't remember. I know he beat him once. Oh, mate. It's really bad, guys, honestly. But Ben Chilwell ain't good enough to get into this team. Raheem Sterling ain't good enough to get into this team. Trevor Chalobah's not good enough for this team. Like, do not tell me that, honestly. Casado's giving the ball away. There is so much room for Palace to form an attack. So much room. Colwell fouled by Munoz, probably pushing it back. days, yeah, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch a game of football and we're gonna be like, "That was unbelievable." That is what we've been waiting to see this team do. Um, but I don't know, man. It's just it just baffles me, honestly. I understand trying to be smart, yeah, and trying to get a player in a position to create an advantage, but we're actually giving ourselves a disadvantage with these players moving between the line. Like Enzo Fernandez, like he doesn't offer anything there. Enzo struggles to get a lot of power on his passes as well, mate. Like the effort that goes into passing the ball to the man beyond the man is crazy. I mean, like the next person after the closest pass. Fafana at right back, plays the ball. Come on, Nkunku. Bit of quality in Kunks. Bit of quality. Win the pen. Oh, mate. I thought he was going to get fouled. Mate, 4 points ain't good enough. It's a poor start to the season, isn't it, really? Eight minutes? Oh, my God. Eight! Eight! There's a chance. We've just got this is going to have to be a nick. Like, we've got to nick a winner here. Come on, Chelsea. The system's not changing. Cole Palmer is playing behind the halfway line. Like the system is not changing. There is an issue here, but we have to nick a winner. Mudryk, good bit of skill. Come on, Makalo. Produce a bit of magic, Makalo. Just do it. No, lose the ball. Cole Palmer lose the ball. It's not. It's not good. Who's booked? Cole Palmer's booked. That's a foul throw. That's a foul throw, mate. The whole crowd knows that's a foul throw as well. They're on the attack here. Eze, edge of the box. Saar, 1v1 versus Colwell. Picks out Eze on the edge. Is that handball from Cucurella? I think his hand's behind his back. Did we foul Wharton there? Come on, Chelsea. Oh, Colwell just takes too long on the ball, mate. Could have had a counter attack too long on the ball. They've gone deep at the back post. Eze, can he get there? Yes. Casado's done really well there, though. Done really well. And Kunku, central. Cole Palmer on the right. Go on, Cole. And Kunku, mate. And Kunku's quality, man. There's a lot of quality. Oh, great ball. Jacko, come on. Jackson. Oh, side netting, mate. You can't tell me Nkunku's not class, man. That guy's quality. The first time we see Cole Palmer drift out on the right and Kunku middle, it looks better. Jackson, first bit of something I've seen in the second half, I feel like. I think keeper saves that all day, actually, to be honest with you. But better, and Kunku's class, man. I think he's really good. I personally don't think you can have a Chelsea starting 11 without Nkunku in it. I've got to be honest with you. I think he's definitely good enough to be playing. Jackson makes another good run. Come on, Jacko. Palace defence are struggling here. Jackson hits the man. Oh, mate, he hits the keeper. He hits the keeper, bro. Palace's defence have just fallen asleep. The last couple of attacks. Jackson's just come alive as well, maybe. Mudryk, great pass. Great pass. Boy, mate, it's a great save. It's a great save. I actually think Jackson's got that one on target. It's a good save. Hand down by his side. Really good save from Henderson. Come on. Just stay alive, Jackson, because I feel like another opportunity comes to you. Just stay lively, Nico. Oh, Enzo Fernandez gives the ball away. What is his passing accuracy? Does anyone know? It can't be great. He gives the ball away so often. Go on and Kunku, make something happen. Casado out on the right back. Cole Palmer. Come on, Cole. Oh, mate, they've got so many bodies back. There was just so much traffic for him to navigate through. Fafana does well there, though. And now he's way out of position. Colwell has to win that. He does. Well done, Levi. Well done. You had to do that. If Colwell doesn't win that, we're in trouble when he does. Come on, Chelsea. This is what this is. We haven't looked like this for like the whole of the second half. This is much better. This is much better. The tempo and the patience is there. They are looking for the right opportunity, but they are moving the ball quickly, which means Palace are struggling to get around. Mudryk with a good cross. Unlucky no one's there. I don't understand why this intensity hasn't been here for like the last half an hour. Palmer tackled. Adam Wharton dispossessed him quite well there, to be fair. They're going, what? Oh my gosh. Well read. Sancho's out with his head. Fair play. Much better from Chelsea. João Felix turns. We're transitioning here. Felix with the feet. Oh, the shot, man. Where has this been? This is what we want to see. There's no point saving it till the 5th minute, 4th minute, 3rd minute of injury time. We've been sat here watching a dire second half. Oh, mate, this is what I think this team is capable of. Where's this been? The footwork there from Felix was unbelievable, by the way. Sanchez kicks out of play. Oh, right. Last couple of minutes. We're riding this one out for a draw, I think, with a hope of nicking a winner. Bournemouth scored 2 in this amount of time yesterday, to be fair. So you never know. Casado out on the right. Enzo centrally. Fafana centrally as well. Makes a bit of a difference, by the way, having Fafana centrally in the build-up rather than the right. I just feel like it just looks a bit better. I don't understand why that hasn't been happening. Enzo in the middle of the two, which I also don't mind, but there's no one really there to Felix. Gives the ball away. Palace, what have they got? A 3v3. Casado's got to work here. Ismail Assar has the ball out on the right-hand side. Ismail Assar, corner for Palace, man. Corner for Palace in the last minute. Palace look leggy. Palace look leggy, whereas Chelsea have looked lively the last couple of minutes, which shows our fitness is there, but it hasn't been there for the last half hour. Come on. We just need a Chelsea head on this and a chance of a counter-attack if there's time. We've still got small men on big men. Oh my gosh, they've had a chance at that corner. Another corner. Injury. Enzo Fernandez doing what he should do. Mate, we've got Enzo Fernandez marking Gehi, or they're 6. We've got some of our smallest players marking their biggest men. And that's been like it all game. Honestly, mate, that's poor. I'm not happy, neither am I. Yeah, look, that's not good. Enzo Maresca's not good enough for this job. It's too big for him. Look, it's not good, mate. It's not good. It's really poor, actually. The second half is so bad. The first half weren't great. I just don't understand how we've been playing. It's baffled me, mate. And I appreciate that, my man. I appreciate you tuning in for the watch along. It's a tough one. They're tough games like that. They're tough to watch, mate. They're tough to speak on because not much is happening in the game. So I appreciate that. It means a lot. Obviously, we're new to doing watch alongs really this season, so we just sort of got to see how they go over the season. But it's a real weird one. Like I don't understand what I've seen today. The first half was ish, Gerald. To be honest, there were positives, but there weren't a lot of nothing blew me away bar the goal, really, if I'm being honest with you. But the first half was way better than the second. But the first half wasn't anything to get excited about, by the way. Wasn't like anywhere near the Wolves' second half or anything like that. We probably had one or two moments of good football. What the hell did we just watch? Now, honestly, Bobby, that second half, mate, was so poor. I don't understand. Guys, we're one like off 20 for today, which would be unbelievable. Obviously, it's difficult, man, to watch a game like that. I know where to come for my Chelsea watch-alongs. Bobby, I love that a lot, man. Spread the word for sure. Enzo Fernandez, another woeful game, guys. And this is what I'm saying. I needed to see more from Enzo today. And unfortunately, we haven't seen that. We've seen a worse Enzo Fernandez, but he's being asked to do a very strange role. He's being asked to play really advanced, and then later on in the game, he's playing as the most defensive player in terms of dropping between the centre backs or being a centre back. It's baffling me. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand what Enzo Maresca was trying to get out of that system today by those players rotating around. I don't see what it brought, and I think ultimately that's the reason we've not been able to get on top of that game in the second half, because Palace found a lot of room and a lot of space in the areas that Chelsea didn't have players. I'll tell you what, yeah, I don't know what will happen in the Manchester United-Liverpool game, but if anyone does watch that, like, watch what Arne Slot has done to this Liverpool team in such a short amount of time. You will see the difference between a guy that is like able to coach some really, really good tactics in a short amount of time and Enzo Maresca, who at the moment, like I honestly, what's his main opportunity for Chelsea scoring a goal? It's like if they have a lot of men forward, counter attack. Anything else, I do not understand his methodology. I just don't get it. I don't see it. It's baffling me. Maybe I'd need to sit down and listen to him explain it to everyone, but I just don't see it. It doesn't even look any way or anywhere near what I saw from like his Leicester team. It's just baffled me, mate. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, if we're rating that performance out of 10, what are we giving it? A 1-1 draw? The second half's probably like a 3. Because we've lost the second half. We were really poor. And I think the first half probably gets to about a 5. I'm baffled by what I saw today. Absolutely baffled. Honestly, guys, thank you for sticking with me through that, because that was a really difficult watch. That was a difficult watch. Let's see what people are saying. I'm seeing people blame the ref. Apparently, we're back. Yeah, Dale, mate. Like, how poor was that? Back where, mate? Back to the season before last? 4 points out of 3 games is not good enough to start the season. We should have been on 6. Like, I feel like we've lost to Palace there. We haven't, but it's honestly, I don't think that was good enough, mate. Honestly, Palace didn't have a lot of chances, but we weren't good enough on the ball. If a team had more chances, they would have scored more goals today. They really would have. I'm very disappointed with how many goals or how many situations we've had today. Yeah, mate. This is what I'm saying. Like, people are like getting ahead of themselves. I think I was joking saying it to a couple of guys on Saeed's show. Like, we're back, we're going to win the league if we get Osimhen, blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, people are getting so carried away. So carried away. Like, there's a lot of issues to be addressed, man. A lot of issues to be addressed. And that's not a good game. That's really not a good game. That's one of the poor ones. And the worst thing is it's at Stamford Bridge. And the worst thing about that is that that's the second game bar Servette that the fans have seen. So obviously the second Prem game. Both games at home in the Prem have been pretty poor, in my opinion. Pretty poor. Like, realistically, we've had one good 45 minutes, haven't we? If you think about Servette, both games, neither were great. We lost the other day. First game was bang average. Man City weren't a good game. Anyone that tells you otherwise is lying. Look at Man City now, mate. They weren't anywhere near that what they were yesterday or day before, a game before. Wolves first half pretty not uneventful, but not very good. Second half unbelievable. Exactly what I think Maresca wants from his team, which I think is relying on a counter attack, not playing unbelievable football. And then Palace, we haven't had there's an okay 45 minutes of football there and a very bad second 45. I haven't seen, Palace weren't good, mate. Like, Palace weren't good, and I think that shows where Chelsea were at. Like, Palace weren't good, and they don't look anywhere near where they finished last season. And Chelsea struggled to create chances again, or not even create chance. Well, we had a couple of chances, but we were really poor. A very winnable game, and we're not good enough. And the manager's tactics were crazy. I don't understand, mate. Baffling. Absolutely baffling, man. It's just a real downer, isn't it? On, like, if we could have been going into the international break and been on 6 points out of 9, played really good football and built on that Wolves game, it would have been great. But since we played that 45 minutes of football against Wolves, we've actually been crap. Like, we weren't good against Servette, and we were not good today against Palace, really, at any point. So where we haven't built on that performance at all. And I think that's what this season's going to be. It's going to be a season of mediocrity. But the manager has to help the players, mate. He can't be playing them in these sort of positions. Casado's finished the game at right back. Do me a favour. Like, Enzo Fernandez finished the game playing at centre-back. Cole Palmer finished the game playing as a 6 or an 8. Like, what? Like, what is going on? How is anyone making those mistakes? I think we're a very, very fragile side, built up of very fragile players, and not adding experience and know-how and knowledge into that team is going to be costly. And not adding a lethal player like Osimhen is also going to be an issue. Defensively, I actually think they weren't challenged enough today. Set piece wise, I'm absolutely unsure of who thought it was a good idea to put Enzo Fernandez on, I think, Gehi and Cucurella on Mateta. Like, I don't understand that when Fofana and Levi Colwill are there to mark a player. I think the set piece for Crystal Palace led to Crystal Palace's goal was all over the place. And we brought in a set piece coach, and those should have been addressed. And arguably, I don't think it has. We probably look worse in those situations. And Poch didn't want a set piece coach, and maybe that's why. As I said before, it's going to be a very bumpy season, is what this guy's saying on Twitter. I do not disagree. I think it's going to be a roller coaster. The second half lacks so much, and yes, the ref was awful. I don't think I saw an awful ref, to be honest with you. What is that a game where you can blame the ref? Guys, anyone see a ref that I don't think you can put that on the ref, man. Anyone looking for the ref is looking for excuses. I'm not happy with this. Meant to be a 4-window plan. Ownership and support and director have failed. Well, on the evidence of today, they might have. They actually might have failed, because if that's what the end of the 4-window plan looks like, is today's football, it's crazy. That it really is just baffling. Trying to think. Mudryk cameo, did okay at a couple of things. Great little pass actually in behind for Jackson. Jackson had a very quiet second half. Very quiet. But that was because I will say that the lack of midfield really caused Jackson a little bit of an issue. I've got to be honest. I think it did. There was nothing coming from the midfield. Honestly, I need to see a screenshot, but that midfield looked at times like the Frank Lampard, where there's the circle around no one in the middle. It looked like that. And I can't believe we've gone all the way back to that, man. Stamford Bridge, right? Do you remember how good Chelsea used to be at Stamford Bridge? Like, teams would just crumble before they'd even kicked a ball. They would look at Chelsea walking out of the tunnel and they would think, no, like, we ain't winning this game today. Look at this team. It's full of monsters, mentality monsters, physical monsters, monsters on the pitch and what they could do with the ball. I think Palace looked at that today and went, might nick something here. Maybe. Look at this team. They're like this little bunch of kids. We could have a chance. What's happened? They've got a point. So everything is just so far removed from what it once was. It's just so difficult for the majority of fans to accept, I think. Some fans are trying to buy into the positives. What have I seen? I've seen, let's be real, yeah? Last season under Pochettino, going forward, we lacked any idea of attacking knowledge or know-how or understanding of how we would score goals. Have I seen an improvement on that? No. If anything, it might have even looked worse. I thought Jackson had opportunities to score today. The only one he took was an open goal. I felt like he offered nothing in terms of anything else on the pitch. He was just trying to make sure he was in the right position. But for the second half, he didn't really get many opportunities to do that until right near the end. Madueke had opportunities today, but wasn't anywhere near as clinical as what he was against Wolves, and he didn't look great against Servette during the week. So it just shows that there's inconsistencies in his game. I think Nkunku would provide far more consistency and potentially play someone out on the right like Cole Palmer, because I think Cole Palmer is a threat wherever he plays on the pitch. I don't think he's the type of player that struggles as long as he's played in an area that is okay for him to do what he does. If you play him as a 6, there's an issue, which we've seen today. I'm just trying to think about it. Neto, pretty uneventful, beat his man a couple of times. Didn't really look like he knew what he was trying to do. Didn't look like any of the strikers knew how to get on the end of his crosses. Cole Palmer, as the game goes, it's okay. It's definitely not Cole Palmer's best game, but I'm not surprised he struggled today. There was so much room in the midfield that defensively, every single time in the second half, Palace looked to go forward. They really didn't struggle in terms of being delayed or dispossessed by a midfield, because it was non-existent. Casado was already at centre-back and Enzo Fernandez was way too high. Enzo Fernandez has had a great game for him today. That's what I've seen people say on Twitter. Come on. The bloke was exactly what we've seen every single time he's pulled in a Chelsea shirt. Frustrating, not good enough, not creative. One moment sticks in my mind from what Enzo did today, and it was a chance for Madueke. Madueke might have done better, Stephen, how we doing, mate? I'm just kind of going through the players at the moment that have played today and issues that we've had. There's so much space between our lines. It's disgraceful. I'm still seeing that hasn't been addressed from pre-season. There's no fight. There's no desire. We moved the ball so slowly until the 92nd minute in the second half. Every time we went forward, we really wasted the ball a lot from what I remember. The one time we didn't, we scored. Gerald, mate, Enzo was woeful, bro. You didn't watch the game. I know you didn't. Enzo can't play in the Premier League. He can't. From what I've seen, he is not good enough. Enzo did not have a good game today, guys. And Maresca as well. That Enzo, I don't think that's a good game either. I genuinely haven't seen many players put in a good performance today. Casado, I actually feel for the guy. He played a couple of really nice passes. What has he been asked to do? Like, he got played all over the pitch today. Right back, centre back. Like, baffles me because that ain't where he plays. The guy's already like said he's struggling to like get to the level where he knows he can be at. Don't make it harder for him by playing him out of position. Gusto, such a random ass there, mate. They played Gusto in like a right-sided 10 in between Palmer and Madueke, and I just feel like that was really wasteful as well. Wesley Fofana played out on the right for the majority of the game. Didn't offer anything that Gusto wouldn't have offered if he just played as a right back instead of inverting. Gusto probably made it claustrophobic for Madueke and Cole Palmer in that role. Levi Colwell is way too slow on the ball. And at times when he isn't slow, it's normally he's just hoofing it up the pitch. A real lack of composure there. Defensively, I thought Wesley Fofana actually had quite a good game. I've got to be honest. I think he really did cover for Gusto well. Cucurella, one of those games that's just a bit all over the place. I saw him got beat a couple of times. It was just this random game for him, but I think it was a bit. Sanchez probably could do better for the goal, but actually didn't have the worst game. I felt like he claimed the ball pretty well. And I feel like actually some of his distribution today was fantastic. And I actually felt like he caught the ball a lot in defensive situations, which always help. Enzo, how was Enzo woeful? The chat is rub, mate. Honestly, Enzo did not have a good game today, Gerald. I think you're going to be one of the only people that thinks that he might have. Enzo, just like Jorginho, you have to play him in the right midfield balance. Honestly, Neil, you're bang on, mate. Like in the Premier League, you literally have to carry Enzo Fernandez. You can't deploy him on his own. But Enzo's being asked to do a weird job as well, mate. He is being asked to do a weird job. Both the midfielders aren't being asked to play as midfielders, which is crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. And we killed Poch for doing that last season. We need to kill Maresca for doing the same thing. Guys, there's so many of you in here today. Can we smash the likes as well? Because obviously it's been a real tough game to watch, a real tough game to do a watch along on because there weren't much excitement. We're on the road to 3,000 on YouTube. We've been getting so close recently to actually making that happen. I believe we're really not that far away. We're going into an international break. It's a concerning time for Chelsea to go into an international break, man. We're also, by the way, can we just say, like, Dewsbury Hall got nowhere near that team today because he's not looked good enough as well. And we really had an issue in midfield, and like they didn't look for him. I actually thought Nkunku looked really good when he come on. I think that guy's class. I thought João Felix looked exciting as normal, when he got moved to his correct position instead of being out on the wing. Trying to think of other subs that happened. I don't know. Right, here we go. This proves Gerald's not watched the game. Enzo wasn't amazing. Okay, he might have watched the game because that's right. But he didn't play bad. I'm not having it. He was creating chances. One chance created. Rarely gave the ball up. Guys, can someone find me the stat of his pass completion? Has to improve in the duels, though. Enzo gave the ball away so much in the first half, man. And in the second as well, his passes were just uneventful. They weren't chance creative passes in the second half. Like, I'm not going to have that. Newcastle have beaten Spurs, which I like to see. Enzo Fernandez didn't have a good game, mate. I think it's probably fair to say no one at Chelsea really had a good game. Maresca, as a manager, it's a poor game, man. Like, he really, really struggled to get to grips with how to beat Crystal Palace today, and it didn't happen. And he didn't make any adjustments that made it look like we were more likely or increasingly more likely to win that game at any point. Like, his substitutions, they were better. They were better probably because they're better players in terms of personnel, but they didn't offer much because they were being asked to be deployed in a system that just wasn't working. But what I will say is the response after the game against Servette, I expected way more than that. Way more. You know, the 93rd minute till about the 96th was exactly how I expect to see Chelsea playing under Maresca, yeah? We did it for 3 minutes in the second half. 3 minutes. And Palace weren't good. Can we remember that? Palace weren't good, mate. Like, they were really poor. They weren't anywhere near the Palace that finished last season. And Dan Knight's been saying it all stream, man. Dan Knight's been saying it all stream, is that the sporting directors have failed. And I really do think they have. I think he's bang on, is that we 100% have struggled to recruit the type of players that move you swiftly towards the direction of where Chelsea should be in the Premier League. Like, we've got a bang average manager, bang average players. We've got some really good players that are being completely mismanaged, and we failed to attract players because of a wage structure that's been put in place. And we've got rid of players that you can't tell me Raheem Sterling wouldn't have. I genuinely think Raheem Sterling would have still put in a better performance today than Neto and Mudryk. I really do. I think it's unfair to suggest otherwise. Chelsea fans need to understand that they have a mid-table manager, if that, by the way, if that. He's not even proven that he's mid-table in the Premier League. The goal keep is not it. Mate, I don't think he had the worst game today, but he probably could do better for the goal. Enzo 0. Mate, honestly, Enzo. Then to top up, you've got a striker that... Nah, come on. Jackson's not championship level, mate. He scored a lot of goals last year. I think he's okay. And I think he'll improve. But right now, it's a madness in terms of what this Chelsea team is expecting when they're playing in a system like that. You can't expect much from a striker when there's no midfield to make something happen for him. And then there's like 3 number 10s who don't want to track back defensively. I think it was really bad. Gerald says he thinks I'm being very reactionary. What is it? Not the best second half, but you've been too harsh, mate. Honestly, look at what people are saying, mate. Well, it was such a poor second half, Gerald. The wage structure is the problem, getting shit players. Look, I don't think we've got shit players, mate, because for 3 minutes of the second half, actually, the football was really nice, but it was just didn't happen enough and was way too late in the game. But I also hear what you're saying, is that the wage structure means that we can't go and sign players that are unbelievable. Jackson could have had a hat-trick today. I think there was one really good save from the keeper. He's missed a good opportunity. He had another opportunity that hit the side netting, and he scored an open goal. So that sums up Jackson, doesn't it? We know full well that is what Jackson is about. So it doesn't shock me at all. Guys, if we could hit 30 likes on today's stream, that would be unbelievable. I know none of us are happy with that result. At the end of the day, even if you thought that Chelsea had a okay game, players that you think had a good game that I don't agree with you on, none of us are happy with the result. However that's finished, no one wants a 1-1 draw after losing 2-1 to Servette midweek. No one wants to see that. I don't care. If you do, I don't believe you're a Chelsea fan, because that isn't a positive result. The wage structure apparently isn't a problem. That's why we didn't sign Osimhen, by the way. It's the only reason we didn't sign Osimhen, is because we didn't pay him enough money to what he believes he's worth. We're always going to struggle against 5 at the back, to be honest. Yeah, but Calao, do you not think that we shouldn't be struggling when you see the abundance of players that we have? First half was nice. We dominated and controlled the tempo. Palace didn't touch us in the second half. It was just irritating, honestly. Palace scored in the second half, mate. Jackson giving... honestly. What kills me with Jackson, I did say this during the game, is that he stood there and did his celebration, yeah? He did this because he's obviously like saying he's a shooter. The guy scored an open goal. Every other opportunity he had to score in which was slightly more difficult, he didn't score. And that's where we've all been saying there has to be an improvement in terms of a striker, because the elite level is Haaland, yeah? Haaland scores probably all 3 of Jackson's chances today and gets a hat-trick like we've seen him do. Jackson scores his easiest chance and is basically telling Mikel to do one. Like, fair play, keep scoring. I do rate that, by the way, but Jackson could have also won us the game today, and he didn't. Owners out, most of the players out, backroom eye. But can I just say, Jackson isn't the biggest problem today. There's way, way more issues than just Nicholas Jackson today as well. Like, Jackson, for me, scored. That's what a striker has to do. Probably could have got a couple more goals, but we all know that he's not good enough to probably score those chances, but at least he scored. There are other players that aren't good enough, mate. So it's worrying. It really is. A poor performance from Chelsea, a baffling one. I'm just unsure. Like Dan Knight's been saying all stream, is that the sporting directors have failed to bring in players that have the quality to win us those games rather than lose us those games. Not lose us, but not win us those games. Actually, it's not fair. The owners failed us on striker position, midfield, and defence. The owners. I'm not sure. The owners have probably failed in who they recruited to be sporting directors because let's be real, it's not like they've not spent money. They've spent a lot of money, but someone has convinced them that the right way to go about spending money is to spend it on the players that we have. And I just don't agree with who they've recruited in terms of playing staff for it to be good enough for Chelsea to win those games. But even if now we're at a level where the squad is okay, I genuinely think Maresca's system today baffled me, and I don't understand how we ever thought that would win him the game of football. You can quite evidently see why Chelsea fans were so desperate for Osimhen, because Osimhen honestly is a level above Jackson and probably would have scored enough goals to win us that game today, because Gerald's actually right, is that Palace weren't great today. And they weren't good in that sense. And that is a problem, is that we 100% should have scored. Chelsea are going to sell Angelo Gabriel to Al Nassr. So that's another one that is never going to see the light of day at Chelsea. So, yeah, I honestly think, I'm not sure. I really don't know. Actually, tell a lie, I have to say, Enzo Fernandez probably did do a really good action towards the end of the game, but just before he got injured. So fair play on that as well. I think he actually blocked Palace from having an opportunity. I think that's why he's injured. Madueke potentially injured. Gusto potentially injured as well going into international break. So right now the injuries aren't disappearing. Gusto suffered with injuries last season. So did Madueke. So Madueke suffered with injuries his whole career. Luckily for us at Chelsea, it's not been as bad as what it's been other places. Hopefully Gusto's not out for long, man. Hopefully he's not, because I think sooner rather than later, the management must see that actually the best thing to do is play with players in legitimate positions to stand the best chance of winning. Final stats from today: 13 shots for Chelsea, 9 for Palace, 7 shots on target for Chelsea, 3 for Palace. Possession, 63%. That's not surprising. We had a lot of the ball, just not in a great area. 37% for Palace, 589 passes for Chelsea today. 90% passing accuracy, 79% for Palace. Let's see, yellow cards, 4 for Chelsea. Both have 4 corners each, and yellow cards 2. No red cards, and just 1 offside in the whole game. Crazy, isn't it? That kind of tells you what game it was. I said it before, your goalkeeper, you help your team get to... Yeah. He probably I think he could have done a better job, but I also think I've seen Sancho have worse games than today. I just think he probably could have saved Eze's shot. Yeah, honestly, no, I don't think Reece will be on the bench for Gusto, but I actually wonder where Reece fits in this current system, because we saw it. I think he's going to play as a right centre-back, which we saw, which is just baffling to me as well. Yeah, I really don't know, guys. Not a great performance. A lot of question marks over players, and I genuinely just don't see that much has changed after last season. I just don't see that. The Eze goal was a really good finish, but I think he could get closer, because it's where Eze receives the ball, and where there's so many players preventing Eze from striking the ball to one side of the goal. So it's either that he goes straight down the middle or to the right. The chances of him going down the middle are low because of the way his body shape was. I'm sure that's quite easy for a top keeper to read. And Sancho's got nowhere near it, which is disappointing. It really is, because I think if you let a goalkeeper analyse that, they'd say exactly the same, is that you'd be aware that Eze can really only put that in one place, and he put it there. But because you know that he can only put it there, you should get close. Gerald, I think this is actually the smartest thing you've said all day, is that 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss kind of tells us where we are. Where we are isn't good enough, mate, because a draw against Palace and a good second half performance against the team that's probably going to get relegated isn't good. Like Enzo Fernandez wearing the captain's armband baffles me, because I don't think he does enough on the pitch and in terms of what he does vocally to be the captain either. I just really thought we were quite poor. I think back to the football we used to play under Tuchel, and it's so far removed from what we see under these players. But apparently Tuchel didn't play entertaining football, which is crazy. Honestly baffled, mate. Colwell, I don't think Colwell should be captain, mate. I think Reece is the right captain in terms of who he is, but he's just never fit. Other than that, I don't think I see a leader in the team. Do you know what? Yeah, maybe you just give it to like Cole Palmer. At least the guy plays. It's just so frustrating. I can't believe that is that's baffling. Do you know what's irritating as well? Yeah, is that Tammy Abraham, when I didn't realize he was going to move this summer, but I would have taken Tammy. Honestly, I would have taken Tammy, mate, like as a sub or as a backup striker or as the main striker, and fight it out with Jackson over no one. And we had a buyback on Tammy. I would have taken him. I know he's not great, but he's not bad. The atmosphere at the Bridge is so dead. Honestly, we were speaking about this. There's an issue at Stamford Bridge with atmosphere. I don't know how you address it, but there is at least 30,000 fans there that have. I just don't know what they don't create any noise, and I know that not everyone has to go to create an atmosphere, but I don't know if these people go to even watch football, to be honest with you. I genuinely don't. Tammy is better than Nico. Yeah, I probably agree. I don't think Tammy is as bad as what some people think that he was at Chelsea. I actually think he did all right, especially in the team that he was in. I can't accept this for a third season. I've had enough. I don't blame you, Dan. I can't accept it for another season. It's incredibly disheartening to think that Chelsea might be going through a very similar season again. What, mate? I'm just seeing. Sorry, I see some tweets and they're just so baffling, mate. Like, would Nico start for any other Big Six team? Yeah, I think he'd start. If you're going to say Man United a Big Six, I think he'd start for them. I think he'd have a chance of starting games for Arsenal, because he does score. He does score. I know he doesn't score all the types of goals. I think Nico would start for. I mean, Liverpool need a striker. He'd probably start for Liverpool in some games as well. It is a process of torture. I just genuinely don't understand. Off of the evidence of the football I've seen today, I don't get it. I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand what the style of football is we're meant to be playing, because the only entertaining football I've seen this season has been the last 3 minutes of today. I remember against City, there was a little bit where we tried to play through him that actually was a little bit exciting, but way too late. Genuinely, the Wolves half was exciting, but the football was predominantly counter-attacking football against a really exposed left-hand side of Wolves' defence. I haven't seen like unbelievable entertaining football yet that makes me think that we're moving in the right direction with the type of football that we're playing. I just haven't seen it. So if anyone's seen that, can you let me know where you've seen it? Because everyone was telling me the type of football Maresca is going to get this Chelsea team playing. He's had quite a few games now since pre-season. I've not seen it once. I actually haven't. So I don't know. What I saw today probably tells me that I've been right all along saying Chelsea won't get top 4. Because I genuinely, right, we could have played rubbish today or played how we played, which isn't good enough. Probably not rubbish, but second half was. First half was probably okay enough. Mate, honestly, I think he is RC. I think he is average. Watch Liverpool later on, and I think you'll see what is good football. Watch Manchester City. Watch even West Ham yesterday played some good football, better than what Chelsea did today. I think good football needs to be technically controlled. I think you need to try and play through the lines with a clear idea of how you're going to score goals. I don't believe you should be passing without a purpose. I don't believe you should be slow in possession, taking a lot of touches. You should take a limited amount of touches to move the ball onto players that are in better positions than you are to potentially score or make a change to the attack. That's what I believe is good football. And I don't think I saw that today from Chelsea. And I believe I'm in a position to understand what good football is as well, because I've watched so much football. I can quite clearly understand the differences between entertaining good football. I can understand the difference between good football that might not be entertaining to watch, but it's good football in the fact that it wins you a game. I just haven't seen it at Chelsea right now. I just haven't seen it. Some people love a counter-attack, yeah. Some people love a counter-attack. Well, most of the time our counter-attack today was wasteful. It wasn't nearly as effective as it was against Wolves. And that's like, I just don't understand what people are seeing that was like genuinely that exciting or entertaining in the first half that people were raving about. Like, it was okay. Enzo plays, we struggle. We've always said that. It looks to be true. Miz is not happy. Jose was free when he got this Championship manager. Mate, honestly, I'm not saying we should have got Jose Mourinho, because I don't think the board would assign the players that Jose would want. But also, I just think that, like, there were managers out there that were going to play that were probably a safer bet. And I genuinely think, right, that the football towards the end of last season under Pochettino was better than where we've started this season. I don't, mate. I don't. You're level-headed, mate. Don't let any happy clappers beat you down. A refreshing voice calling it down the middle without an agenda. Bobby, those words, I appreciate it a lot, mate. I just say what I see. I'm not going to lie. I don't have an agenda. I want Chelsea to win. I want every single player at Chelsea to thrive and be better than where we currently are. And I actually want this ownership to do well, because they've spent so much money. I feel like they've got good intentions in terms of getting Chelsea to where they should be. But I'm just saying it as I see. I haven't seen good enough football. I've not seen entertaining football. I've not seen decent recruitment. I've seen so many issues not get addressed. I've seen methodology that I don't understand in terms of on the pitch and away from it in terms of football business and football thing. And it's not because I don't understand it, because I'm not educated in what I'm trying to understand. Or maybe I am, because it's so new to football. But plenty of people with a far better footballing education than me still don't understand it with expertise in football business. People like Gary Neville, who absolutely has an understanding in every single area of football, does not understand some of the methodology that Chelsea are applying to the club in terms of the owners, the sporting directors. I'm not the only one, and I just don't see it. But watch Liverpool today, and you will see a far better team. You just will. We don't have experience. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand this blueprint that they're creating, their methodology, the ideology of what they're trying to make Chelsea Football Club, because right now we're not seeing any progress, and this is the third season. And okay, yeah, we progressed from 12th to 6th, but the football drastically isn't that much different. And it wasn't until the last few games under Pochettino that we started moving from mid-table upwards a couple of positions. But for most of last season, we were down in a pretty similar position to where we were with Graham Potter and Frank Lampard. So yeah, I'm just absolutely baffled. Right, I'm just going to say it now. I've unfollowed Nazar Kinsella off of Twitter because the guy is clueless, mate. Yeah, well, I think it's an insult to say we played like a championship team, because at times, and I'd even say that at times Leicester's Maresca's Leicester played with more attacking intent and idea of how they should be playing. I just think we lacked any idea of the best way to score against that Crystal Palace team because Maresca wasn't sure of how to set up his team to win that game. Our attack is inconsistent. I believe our whole team is inconsistent, and that creates the run of form that we've had, where we've won a game, lost a game, drawn a game. That is 100% inconsistency. The only thing that is consistent is the inconsistency. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't want to sit here and be all negative, but there ain't a lot to be positive about right now when um, we are not making much progression and we're not recruiting in a way that I think is the right way when you're spending the kind of money that we are. It just baffles me. I'm just baffled, guys. I really am. We're just gonna have to see, aren't we? We're just gonna have to see where it goes because I just don't know. Liverpool are winning, are they? Noni Madueke looks like he has an injury, apparently. A big problem for me is the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge. And I do believe a lot of it is to do with the lack of exciting player and the lack of, in terms of who that player is. I'm not saying that we signed Cole Palmer, yeah, no one really knew much about him. And then he lit up Chelsea last season. And don't get me wrong, that's good. But also you have to go inside. Like if Osimhen had come, there would have been an air of like confidence around Stamford Bridge that we got Osimhen. And that's kind of gone. And I genuinely think that that's something that we have to sort out because Stamford Bridge being that flat, I mean, that place is a long way off ever being a fortress. Let's see. Nico, Noni, and Palmer have a good GA. That's a positive at least. Gerald, I thought you watched the game. Eric, Liverpool 1-up. That's a new manager as well. This manager will kill us. I'm like, guys, I'll be honest. Right now, I haven't got that game on. Wait, are Liverpool 1-up? Are they? Oh, has it been disallowed? There's nothing here to say that they're 1-0 up. I haven't got it on. Maybe I'll whack it on. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. Watch Liverpool play. Like they play good football. They really do. Has Trent just scored? Has he? Nah, he hasn't, mate. He hasn't scored. But yeah, I'm baffled, guys. Look, it's been a long stream. I appreciate every single person that was in here watching it. We managed to hit the like goal, 26 likes, unbelievable. If anyone tunes in afterwards or hasn't done it already, smash the like, see if we can get 30. Absolute pleasure chatting to all of you. We all want the same thing at the end of the day. There's no agendas on this channel. We literally just want Chelsea to be winning games of football and doing that in a way, whether that's with exciting football or not, we'd all rather take the result. I know that much. Um, if you haven't already, check me out on all the other socials as well, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on those. I'm live on those. I talk on those. If you want to tune in when I'm not on YouTube, that's the best place to find me. We're on the road to 3,000 on YouTube, and I feel like we're actually making it happen. The views and the amount of people tuning in recently has been fantastic. I'm getting a lot of positive encouragement from you guys with the lives. And I have to say thanks for that. So have a good weekend. Don't let Chelsea get you down too much. Enjoy this game if you're going to watch it. I'll be live during the week, even though it's going to be international break. There's always football to talk about. And I'll catch you in a bit. It's been a pleasure. Cheers, guys. I'll see you in the next one.